What's going on, everybody? Scotty Skulls. Bringing to you live right here, right now. When I was on earlier, let me know if the music's too loud for you guys. I tend to talk pretty soft sometimes. So I went on earlier and I did that map thing, and I wanted to make it short and to the point. But I started thinking about all my other videos I put up. What if I put up like 7 of them, 8 of them? And I never showed maps of where I was. A lot of people had questions, but they were like premieres. So I didn't want to stop them and start them, you know what I mean? The videos I put up. So I thought I'd come on tonight because I know there was a lot of questions. I have questions. I have a lot of questions. So what I thought is that I would come up with a smaller audience, and it is, and talk to you guys about where I was in each one of them and why I went there and what I did that's not on camera. Oh, and this is, in case you guys are wondering, I suppose I can put this up like this. That's the, I drew this. I got to do the background on it. It's the trestle. It was for a fire department truck, a fire truck that's about, I don't know, 2 or 3, 4 counties away. That wanted a trestle. So, but it's kind of like the Delphi. That's what it originally looked like back in the 1800s. So yeah, and this is where I am. I'm in my art room, you guys. I'm really an artist, not a true crime. What do you call it? True crime creator, something like that. I think I can make it so that one's, there we go. I can go like this. So here I am. Ask me questions. If the music's too loud or you can't hear me good, just let me know. Do I plan on driving on down Light Hollow Road? If yes, would you be willing to show us the dirt trail on 129? Property Tennessee viewer says owned by. I'm back in Michigan, you guys. I drove, I don't know if you guys all know, but I drove from Detroit all the way to Hawkins County. I spent almost a week there, and then I came back. But during that week, every waking hour from dawn until dark, I was out. I either filmed, searched. I was in the woods a lot. I was places I wasn't supposed to be, but I'm not going to put that up because, yeah, I had a run-in with the red Toyota, as a lot of you probably know. Yeah, it was a lot of places. But I wanted to come on tonight because I don't know if that was too much for y'all today. Like, I went through it really quick. I wasn't watching chat. I know I got a couple, whatever you call it, super chat things. Thank you for those. If either one of y'all are here, I didn't even see them. If anybody, well, let me throw the link out here. If somebody wants to come up on panel, because when I'm just talking like this, you guys, I can't just sit. I don't know how they do it. They sit behind that bouncy circle for like 8 hours and talk. I don't know how all y'all do it. I either got to be like doing a video or I got to be drawing something. Or is this clear? I don't know if it's clear or not. I still got a busted fingernail, you guys, from a long time ago. It looks really super not clear to me on my screen, but yeah, it looks bad. And I haven't been live in a long time, you guys, and I haven't drawn since what, the elephant? Oh, let's talk about the elephant. They told me it was good to go for print. Well, I went and it's not to my expectations, so I have to start over on that. So I know I gotta send it to a couple people. So I'm working on it. It's probably gonna take me a couple more days. Because if it doesn't look like the original, you guys, I'm not gonna make prints and send them out. It's just not gonna happen. They gotta be right on par. And it's hard because I don't filter them, the prints. They're raw from the original, and you either gotta scan it or you gotta photograph it. And I mean, I play around with the saturation and the contrast to get the print to look exactly like my original, but I don't filter it at all. So that's the hard part. I refuse to put any digital stuff into my art. What's going on, Shell? Bug Love, Melissa S is here, Connie's here, Innocent Till Proven Guilty's here, Christy Solo, Jessica, Red's Paradise, how you doing? Bug Love, I don't know if I said you before, Melissa S, Joanna, SHCB, how you doing? Nikki Two Poles over here, Izzy Rose is over here. So this is kind of a chill. I know there's a lot of stuff going around on the, I don't even call it YouTube streets. I'm calling it the iTube hoods. A lot of it's me. It's getting to the point everybody's tearing each other's throats out, it seems like. Hey, Shell. Here, let me throw a link. I'm on StreamYard, so I can't tell if I got any mods in here or not. I probably don't have any mods in here. I don't know. But you guys are supposed to ask me, we won't mind if you draw while you answer questions. Well, I can't watch chat, you guys, if I'm drawing. When I draw, I like slip into my drawing. And so I'm just gonna chill and talk to you guys. I got this down. I got to do the background on the, I got to put trees in, you guys. It looks really awful on my screen. I have subpar internet, and this camera that's doing this right here is my broken S10, the same one I used outside. It seems to work better outside than in here, but I got mods in here. Okay. I know I don't have very many, but I know the ones I have are super good. Well, here's a link. If anybody wants to come up and talk about like my videos. Basically, you guys, what I want to know is, and yeah, keep it cool if you guys come up. And I don't want to get into like this person said this and that person said that. I'm not into that. You guys know if you watch my videos. But I want to know if like, yeah, I'm probably froze. It's working really slow, you guys, my internet. I don't know why. But I want to know if like my videos, because I don't like go live and stop them and start them and like narrate and put a narrative in it and all that, if it's good the way I'm doing them. What I need to change in the future. Because obviously I follow true crime, but I'm not a creator, but I like to go to the area. Like I had to go down there, you guys. And it seems I film pretty extensively, so, and I haven't done it like that before. But I want to know like what I can do different, what I shouldn't do, what I should do. If you guys have questions like of where I was, because I know you guys watch replays of them 7 or 8 videos, and like today I know there was a lot of questions I wasn't even watching chat because I couldn't see it. You got it, Shell. All right, cool. You behave. Everybody's got to behave, yeah. So throw me some questions, you guys. It can be art. It can be my video today. It can be all my videos from before. If you want me to like play the video, like break down, well, I don't have to break down the first video, right? That was me from Detroit to Rogersville, but the other ones, if you think I should play them back and like break them down, you know. I don't live in Tennessee, Jessica, but the family has had my family's had property in Tennessee for a long time, and it's like 40 minutes away from the wells, and so I know the area, but I didn't know Beach Creek per se. How old am I? I'm 1,029. I've stayed at 29 for like 1,000 years now. It's like a running joke. I'm not so old I can't get out there and hike, I can tell you that. I'm your neighbor with an indoor pool. Can I come by? You're in Michigan? You got an indoor pool in Michigan? Yeah, I'm old enough to know better. I'm not young, but I'm not old, put it that way. I'm in a good spot. Do I have a thought in what happened over the summer? What are your thoughts, if you don't mind me asking? Okay, so it was months ago I started saying this, you guys. Hey, Adrian, what's going on? So I have feelings every way because anything's possible. Yeah, this is my art room, giraffe. I haven't drawn a giraffe yet, actually. I need to draw a giraffe. Yeah, I'm probably freezing. Oh, it's kind of okay right now, but I don't know yet, Shell. I don't know if I'm going back down there or not. I can't afford it, and I mean, I got a little help last time I went from you guys, but I don't know if I can afford to do it again. And I don't want to depend on, I don't want to like keep throwing PayPal and all this stuff trying to donate or do a fundraiser to go down there, because it's not really fair to you guys. I mean, last time I was already down there, you guys didn't even know I was there, and I popped on, and I freaked everybody out when I flipped my camera on. I was in I was driving on the road, I think, or I was in the dollar store. I don't even know where I was. I was in Rogersville, I think, downtown. So back to you're catching up from earlier between the end of Brown Hollow and the end of Ben Hill. Is there a trailer in the woods? There probably is. There's quite a few things in the woods up there. So my thoughts about what happened. Oh, you're in Bay City, Connie. All right, yeah, that's you're up there a little ways. You just want to see me in my swim trunks. So I've always said, okay, if it's an accident, whether it was, she got run over by a motorbike, fell down the stairs, fell up her swing, fell up the hill. If Don or Candace or both were involved, if it's a cover up like that, then we got to figure out where they put her, right? If it's some sort of abduction, like I think if it was an abduction, it's somebody familiar with the neighborhood that's not out of place going in and out of there. That's just my feeling because of how that place is set up. But if it was any kind of abduction, we got to figure out how they got her out of there without being seen. And since I've been there, the front house, Blue Dawn, has cameras. Now they're older, they're not new since this. They're older from before, you can tell. But I don't know if they work or not. Yeah, the best thing to do, Adrian, with your dog, is to. It's hard because everything's private property, man, and they've had so much trouble down there. Like, if you step off that pavement, you're trespassing because of signs. So it's hard, but I'm trying to figure out if Ben Hill Pass that cable is actually public or not. I'm about to call the what you call it at the courthouse, not the county clerk, but the land. There's a division for that, unless they don't have one because they're so small. But I want to know. Thank you, Melissa S, for that. Yeah, my computer's running really slow. I'm gonna use that to try to upgrade my internet, you guys. That's the first thing I need to do. I got like my own camera now for my art room. So I got that. And then now I need to upgrade my internet. The outside camera I want, it's an action camera, it's a movie camera, and it takes stills too, and you can stream with it. And it's got a, like, you don't have to have a gimbal or whatever. It's got its own stabilizing lens. It's like $1,200. So I got to save up for that too. That's why it's hard to decide if I can even go down to Tennessee, because I don't even have good internet. I don't have a good camera. I don't have a good vehicle. I'm pretty much, I don't have nothing. Thank you, Innocento, proven guilty. Is that New Zealand? Is that where you are? New Zealand. That's what I want to do, you guys. I've traveled a lot. Like I said early in the earlier live, I've been to just about every state, every tourist trap, the Grand Canyon, Yellowstone Park, all, like Hearst Castle, Seattle, LA. I've seen the stars on, Hollywood Boulevard. I've been to Mexico, at the bottom of Canada, and from Texas, like Tijuana. Yeah, I've been all over the place. Yeah, New Zealand, if that's where you are, that's a pretty cool place. I want to go to Australia, you guys. New Zealand, yeah. I'd like to go there too. Africa's pretty cool too. So yeah, as far as what happened to her, I mean, that's what it boils down to. You gotta figure out how she got off the hill or where they put her. And then the only other thing is she wandered off. And I know a lot of people say, yeah, they searched everywhere. They had however many search teams and dogs and drones and choppers and planes. But I mean, you guys are seeing how remote that place is. And I don't know if you remember Laundry, but they spent millions of dollars in a whole month looking and didn't find him. And he was right there. So that's a very big possibility to me. Because she was familiar with the area. I know them kids ran down on that road and played. I know there was trails through other people's properties that they ran. You could see it. The toys are down. Dobbs, yeah. We'd have to have permission to go on there, though, right? We'd have to have permission. Relates to what's happening in this case. I can't watch the drama crap. Nothing, Shell. It's the same place it's been for months. It's people talking now, and then they're hyper analyzing the words, and then they're pointing fingers this way, and then they're pointing fingers that way. Now they're pointing fingers the other way, and now there's a whole bunch of creators just ripping each other's throats out. So that's kind of what's happening. That's why I kind of hit it from a different angle, like the way I do it, really from nature and stuff. Yeah, I click that button and it takes a minute to switch. That's bad. He has an active Facebook account. He will answer questions. Well, I'm not down there, but if somebody who is, get a hold of him and see if they can tear his property up. Did I get an update on the red truck that I had the confrontation with? I reached out to three other people. I was told to reach out, so I did. I left emails. I know Duty Ron was one of them. I know he's live tonight with like a big panel or whatever he's doing, so I don't know when he'll see it, but he answered somebody else and told them to have me email him, so I did. So we'll see where that goes. I don't know if it'll go anywhere, but you can't watch all the nonsense. It doesn't help find summer. Exactly. And people are putting a lot of energy into, going back and forth with each other and all this nonsense. And it's just, it's not helping. We're not law enforcement, right? We can't figure out what happened, and we can't figure out who's guilty and who's not. But what we can do is try to think of where she is and look. That's the way I look at it. Yeah, see something, say something. Yeah, that's what I did, innocent. And the crazy part is, yeah, my computer's not even working right. I click a comment that says hi, it doesn't come up for a long time. I did, like with the red truck. I thought that was important, right? Because it's still on the table according to Ellie and TBI and everything. But yeah, they never got back with me. I left message. I talked to TBI twice. I left messages with Pruitt, and nobody's ever gotten back with me. Taking Nikki bowls. I wonder if I can make custom super stickers. I guess I'm supposed to be doing that, right? And I'm supposed to be making custom emojis and making members or something. I don't know. YouTube keeps sending me all this stuff. I don't know what it means. I don't even know how these super stickers work, but thank you. We need some. The Jeep ain't even got I'm doing hearts on it too, you guys, and I'm not done yet. That's why I haven't put it up. Here goes Innocent. New Zealand. I'm going to have to go on maps later and check out New Zealand and see what good spots are, because that seems like a really cool spot to go. This cave's driving everybody crazy. It is. But my feeling is, I think logically in the most simple form of everything, right? If you take all the static out, all the people talking out of it, and look at it the way I presented my videos, just from what you see and what you feel, I just get a weird feeling that she probably might have wandered off, you guys. I know everybody's got different theories and stuff, but Jay's kind of done with this case, so she don't want to get involved in all the stuff that's going on now. It's being covered by everybody and their brother, and I can understand that too. Custom emojis? Okay, custom emojis. So I got to make custom emojis. You guys are telling me what to do. I got to make custom emojis. Are that's what it in the super stickers, or are them different? Or do they? I don't know how that works. What do you think? They should all be waterboarded? That'd be a good idea, wouldn't it? That'd probably bring it out right quick. I'm still old school. I think these monsters, these serial killers and monsters that hurt kids, should be hung in town square, man, back like they did in the 1800s. For real. This on death row for 20 or 30 years with all these appeals and stuff, that just costs everybody money. But you'll never believe she wandered off. Yeah, everybody's got their different ideas, but that's the most simplest form of all of it. Because you can say, well, maybe Candace did something, Don did something, this person did something, that person did something, this person abducted her, the church took her and found her better home. There's millions of them, right? I could fill a notebook. But if you take it, strip it down to the most simplest form, that's first. That's the first explanation out of all of them is her wandering off. That's first. Second would be Candace, right? And then it rolls downhill from there. Then it goes Don and whoever comes after him. But that's the kind of the way you gotta look at it, I guess. I didn't go to that one. Love the Eagles. What music am I listening to? What is this called? I can show you guys. It's in a rock playlist. Right now it's Carvings it's playing. There's all different bands. I just like click on the ones I like to put in a playlist. I got like piano and I got beats. If you guys want different music, I got different playlists. Dean's is pretty cool. I got different music for when I'm drawing different things, you know. Because music kind of influences how I draw. If she wandered, I should put watermark on Prince. I signed the print. You mean prints that I post online? I do. Kind of on my community posts, I do. You agree if she went back in, if we went back to public hangings, people would think twice before committing serious crimes. Correct. If she wandered off, what happened next? I don't know. I mean, if that's what happened, then Don and Candace really don't know anything, do they? And so obviously she wasn't found probably, right? So she's out there somewhere. My gut feeling, before I saw the place with my own eyes, I was pretty sure about Candace taking her back in the holler. But once I was there, unless there's a spot I didn't go, I don't know, I kind of backed off on that a little bit. So I got it down to either she wandered off or somebody that knows that street. So you listen to what Candace says, right? Summer went in the house, right? The boys are supposed to be watching her. Then she tries putting off on the boys, like, oh, the boys weren't watching her like they were supposed to, right? We've heard that she's wandered off before, and they've had to look for her. So, if she went down, say she went down the driveway, and was wanting to go to the creek, play in the water, find a toy, whatever the case is, I think that if somebody did take her, it was somebody local to the road. Not necessarily they live there, but they frequent that road. They have reason to be in there, so they're not out of place. And when she got to the bottom of that driveway, it was right down on that road, they snatched her. That would also explain one quick scream too, right? Not saying that it happened or not, but if it did, then that kind of makes sense. Hey April, how you doing? You were talking about Jay help me with members and emojis. Yeah, I have no clue how to do any of that. I want to use Streamlabs, you guys, so I can have all kind of different stuff going at the same time and stuff. And because this here just don't cut it for me. You don't think she wandered off, Melissa S? Donna Candace have been acting too suspicious for all that to be the case. That's true. But you got to remember, a lot of people act a lot of different ways, too. I'm not saying they aren't involved. They very well could be, but yeah, they do lie a lot, Shell. You think she's she's gonna be found and she'll grow from this and save millions. She might. Hopefully. Hopefully. Someone picked her up. Yeah, that's a good. If she wandered down that driveway, you know what I'm saying? And somebody just happened to be leaving at the same time she was out there. Um, you think she was sold? Man, do you think they could do that much drugs though, that quick? Like, where's the money at? Unless they didn't get much. That's what I look at. Where's the money? Hey, Wendy. Sold in the family or to someone outside. Yeah. Read your theory, MC. I don't know how far back it was. Oh, right here. Yeah, music which influences your writing. I'm looking for it. My computer is like jumping. It doesn't. I don't see it. Opportunist, yeah. In the bank, box the money. I don't know. I don't think they could save it. I think they would buy stuff. That's just me, but Jennifer could help computer savvy. Yeah, I know they got some really killer ass intros and stuff, don't they? I don't know what these people are using to make these intros. I don't want to do it all computer generated like that. I want to do it with my own art, like with stop motion and stuff. I got to take the time to do that. But all these videos I got, you guys, I got 54 videos of Ben Hill Road. 54 that I have to put up. I mean, you got front to back. You got looking this way, looking that way. I walked it. I drove it. I walked it. All of it. I've got so much. I don't even know how many hours it is, and I have to get it up there. And so, yeah. That's what I gotta do. You guys are asking some pretty good questions, though. What are my questions for you guys? Because I like to know what you guys are thinking. What do you guys think about how the property's laid out there with how narrow the road is and how the property lines go right to the road and how it's all private property? What do you guys think about that? Like, there's no like public property anywhere on that whole mountain behind them. It's all like wall-to-wall public or private lots and acreage. It's weird to me because we don't have that here. Even up north, it's not like that. Do you think Mom and Dad sold her for snuff film in Jonesboro or demonic ritual in the same town? Maybe. My friend drove down that road and she said, no way, stranger did it. Yeah, it doesn't seem that way to me either. There's nowhere to pull off, really. There's nowhere to park. People see you pull in. And then people on the road, when they say the hills have eyes, they're not lying. Those people know when you're there. I know the people at the back are porch dwellers. I don't know if that's not a derogatory statement to them at all, but it's so nice there and it's beautiful and they have all the animals. They're out on that porch. They live out on that porch as long as it's decent, you know. The roads are really not scary. What makes it scary is because of how pissed off the people are. The people that live there. Yeah, she might not be MC, but here's the trick. Figure out how she got out. How she got out without speculating. Like research, homework, figure out how they did it and where they did it. Yeah, the boys had dirt bikes, and you know they didn't keep them up on that top hill where the circle driveway is. You know they ran them down the hill and down the road. Is the Wells mailbox on the same side of the street as Jody Sue Brown's? No. When you're going into Ben Hill Road, Wells' driveway's on your right, Jody Sue's driveway's on your left. Now, her mailbox is quite a ways away from her driveway. And the reason is because her driveway cuts at a sharp angle. It doesn't go like, you know how when you're on a road and you turn left into the driveway and you just go straight in? It's not like that. It's almost parallel with Ben Hill. It's like a cut, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know how there's a cut in a mountain for a road to go up and then you have switchbacks? It's kind of like that. It's almost right even with Ben Hill. And so the front of the driveway is really wide because the angle it's on. And so the mailbox is past her driveway. So you'll have, the first thing you have is Wells' driveway, Wells' mailbox. And then you saw me in my Jeep. I showed it earlier. I just coasted once, coasted twice, and there's Jody Sue's driveway. It's real close. And then you got her mailbox, and her driveway's on the left, and then you got her mailbox quite a ways past that on the left. And it might be for the mailman too. The mailman probably said don't put it so close to the corner because there's a sharp, it's not a real sharp curve, but it curves a little bit, but it's a big drop off. Like from the Wells driveway to Jody Sue's driveway is a sharp hill up, but it's real short, but it's real steep. They could have met. Yeah. I think she went to check the mail and got hit by a car. A person may have been drunk and took her off. Yeah, I don't know. When it's a hit and run, like who would be on there going down the road? That's the question. It had to be somebody that lived there or somebody that was going to, you know, they had friends there. Unless she made it out to Beach Creek, but I don't think she'd go out that way. I really don't. But if she did, but don't usually like leave people laying there. They don't take them with them, do they? I know one time I remember about a hit and run, and the lady was crossing the street and they hit her and they stopped and they didn't stop. It flung her into a garbage pile. Like it was trash day or whatever, and there's garbage bags, so nobody saw her all day. They ended up finding her. All the kids play online, games in the house and YouTubing. They're all online. What gamers were online at that time, an opportunity to distract. Whatever happened, I wish it'd come out soon. Yeah, I got a feeling, you guys, that this isn't gonna get solved. I got that bad feeling. I got a bad feeling. I hope not. I hope it breaks like right around the year mark or before. Right now is when they usually break, just before a year. Something happens where the investigation moves forward. You think all the ones around Ben Hill? No, I don't know. There's some pretty nice houses up around there. Up, you can't see them. Well, the one or two you can, but always tells kids not to get their information online. Didn't have a license. That was drunk. I think it was a local. Yeah. Awesome work you do. Who done gave me another one of them $1.99 things? Who was that? Nikki Two Poles? Was that you or no? That was an older one. I miss those, you guys, so don't get mad at me. Upper points of Michigan, there's all kinds of accidents, four-wheelers, motorcycles, trail bikes. Yep, snowmobiles. A lot of snowmobile accidents in the UP and upper Michigan. Yeah, that could be true, Punky. It's all over the place, right? It could be anything. I explain things well, and yes, I've seen mailbox in your wonderful video. Thank you so much. Yeah, I try to show you guys like the truth, you know, without like talking. You know, if I point at something in my video, if I stop a video and point at something and make you guys all look at it, you're not looking at everything else that's in the frame. If I just play it and you know, and like when I'm talking on camera, when I'm there, I'm just saying what I'm seeing. But if I come back later, like you know, and narrate and stop it and commentate, it's not giving you guys a clear view of what's going on. I kind of want to do it so you guys see what you see, and you can, you know, maybe you see something I didn't see. There's probably you guys probably see a lot that I don't see. So that's what I'm hoping. That light bulb goes off. Ding ding. You think we should all go to Mars with Elon? Yeah, probably. Excuse me. I'm sorry we hurt her. We're in a hurry. We left him lay there, bleeding, face hit, grill busting, permanent tooth missing. It's like, wow. I know, isn't that crazy? There's some crazy stuff that happens, you guys. So, what did you guys think about the property and stuff earlier? Seeing the video is one thing. Getting out on foot, seeing it at that level, it'll punch you in the gut. It did me when I visited with Candace. Yes, you're right, Squall. No matter how good you can show it on video, how clear it is, how much you move around, going up or down, like explaining, like earlier when I was explaining when you're at Jody Sue's driveway, looking out Ben Hill, you're staring at the school bus, and if you go past Jody Sue's driveway a little bit back, away from the wells, you're actually higher than the buses. You're up where the house is. It drops off that quick, and you can't really, even in the video, you can't see it. You have to be there. There's a lot of quick ups and downs. I can throw a link in, Squall, if you want to come up. It's panel day. I just don't want to talk about people too much, right? I just rather keep it about the area and the places, because that's the kind of guy I am. I think I can put an area. I don't know if it's going to work if I get a person up here or not, because this thing's running really slow. I don't know why. Every time before I have to like restart my internet, restart my computer, everything. Yeah, if you guys want any of my art that's not up for sale or on my Instagram or whatever, you can email me for it and I can figure out how to get it to you. You're fixing to start dinner. I know, that's what I need to do. It's 11:15 and I gotta eat. Oh, and then she does anyways. Show me yourself before you come up. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, what's going on?
Hey, okay, I got that muted. I had to mute out the YouTube.
Oh, all right.
It is totally different, and when you're there on foot and you get out of your car and you see how thick the vegetation is.
Yeah. Well, that's why I went when I did, right? Because I wanted to be able to see through everywhere without the cover. You know what I mean? Like now it's all covered. You can't see nothing. Yeah. So it's a lot different now. It's a lot more closed in than when I went. But that's why I went when I did. I went like right when the leaves and the stuff started to grow before it got too thick.
Right. The signs that you got, where the milk jug video was taken.
Yeah.
I am so glad that you put that out there, because we had another person that was on YouTube for a short time that ran around in that area, but for some reason he took pictures of signs in Jonesboro and claimed that is where the video of Summer was taken. And I was so tickled when I saw that video that you had done that, and you actually stopped and got out and walked up and down the road showing those signs.
Yeah, I did a video shot of exactly where the camera was when it was facing backwards and when it flew sideways, and then
Mm-hmm.
I panned the camera sideways and ran down the center line of the road. I almost got hit. I haven't put that up yet, but I got a in time same camera shot angle of it.
You were braver than I was because I did take a video of it and I sent it to someone. I don't know if they ever, I don't think that she ever did anything with it. She was supposed to have made a video with it, but I just did it like holding my phone, in my left hand and driving with my right. And, it was just like a real fast flyby. A lot of
Yeah,
it was blurred and everything. So,
thank you, Dutchy, for that. I did. I reached out. I sent a long email, and I know he was live tonight, so I don't know when he'll get it. Hopefully, he reaches back out to me. I'm hoping about the truck. I'm like up in the air about that, but yeah, how I found it. There's been a couple other people find it. I found it
the,
like I don't even know 8 months ago. I was I went on Street View and I started at the wells and I mapped the route like to how you would go to H's,
hmm
and I started going back all the way, all the way, all the way until I was like, whoa, wait a minute. And then I panned around and then I went back the other way and then I seen the two poles and then I seen the building and I was like, wow, that's it right there.
yeah, but
So that's
it's.
how I found it. But
Did
and
you
it's
go did you go up onto the actual property itself or did you just stay down on Ben Hill?
I just stayed down on Ben Hill. It was right at the time when I think she was at that hotel or wherever out of town, and then she came back. Because when I first went up the road, I was up the road. I can't even tell you how many times, but and all over there. But the first day there was all kind of mail and no cars, and then the next day there was no mail, and I think the Subaru was up there. And then another day I was
But
walking on
she did have somebody checking her mail and putting
the dogs, the food and stuff.
there he's back. Um it was when I know in chat, look in the white cabinet, look in the
Yep,
white cabinet and
yep. I seen that. I seen that guy doing that, and I was like, man, look. And this guy was there. He's the guy. He was making some comments on my video earlier than that in one of my lives, and I tried to reach out to him to talk to him, and but I didn't hear nothing.
yeah.
So I don't even know who he is, but whoever it is, he knows him, and he goes there and takes care of the place.
Yeah, but there's a white cabinet up there that night and it had dog food and cat food in it. But if whenever you go up their driveway, if you're not careful, you'll miss that right hand turn where it loops down on the bottom underneath the house and then comes back around the top.
Yeah, it cuts off like sharp and really uphill,
Yes.
like right is yeah,
Yes. When you're going
yeah.
up that driveway, if you're not careful, I mean you're paying attention to the ruts in the road, and then all of a sudden it just like creeps up on you and you like turn real quick to hit that one to do their turnaround.
Hmm.
But there is an embankment right there on the house yard part. It's like a little embankment right there that I know that you cannot see, but from like if you're up at the house you cannot see over that into the driveway,
Right.
and
Like a
everything down
knoll,
there.
kinda like a knoll.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and it's like every bit of that down there, like where the bus and like in the video, there's a blue truck and everything. If you go back and look at other videos in the early days, every bit of that is camouflaged right in there.
Yeah.
Every bit of it from the house. And
Heather, can you throw a link for AK. I probably my Etsy and my Instagram. I don't know how to even put in my own links. I'm not very good at this, you guys. I draw. What do you think about the pole line from just when you're looking at the old? I think it's the old house. I don't know. People call it a shed with a basement, shed with a cellar. I think it's the old house myself. I haven't been up there, so I can't tell you for sure. But when you're looking at that and you go to the right of it, where Don went and pointed the camera down the hill. Do you remember that?
Where it goes straight down to Beach Creek
Yeah, yeah. From there,
and
from the up
across
at
the
there.
creek, and there used to be like the little deer stand and
Yep,
the the shed that
yep. That's
yeah.
visible all year round, isn't it? Because that
Yes.
they keep that groomed for the power. Okay. Well, what I wanted to point out is that when he was making that video, I noticed that when he was filming, you could hear a truck for like a long time before you saw it. And I
Oh
don't
yeah.
know if anybody else noticed that or not, but you can, because a lot of people say, oh, you can't hear nothing down the hill from there. But in his video, you sure as shit heard that truck coming down Beach Creek. Do you know the one I'm
Yeah.
talking about? When he walked out past this little tool shed and he walked out and
Yes.
yep,
That was when the one that Dawn took that the little girl was swinging on the swing that everybody flipped out over.
yep,
Yep.
yep. Nobody talked about the noise and how you could hear in that truck, but I noticed that you could hear that truck for a long time before you could see it. So it wasn't even a Ben Hill yet. It was all the way down the other way, and you could hear
Right.
it before it even got to Ben Hill. Yeah, and so you can hear. I mean, I can't say for sure, but in that video with that truck, you can hear a long ways for sure.
Now I've got a neighbor that can never ever ever hear our dogs barking, but about a quarter of a mile to between a quarter of a mile and half a mile away, there are some neighbors that have dogs, and the neighbor, he can hear them clear as day, crystal clear.
The ones out by the corner, the blue roof house.
Oh no, I'm just talking about the way these hills and these valleys work in general. That it works out that way. I don't know why, but he's down lower. He's like down low in the bottom,
I think the
and
terrain actually reflects the sound. Where a flat, if you're in flat, like in a prairie or like a desert or whatever, where it's just all flat, like say Nebraska or something, the sound don't have anything to bounce off of. But there, it's with the terrain so up and down and all over the place. I think that the sound reflects
right.
off. Yeah, I think that's what happens.
But it is just so wild how sound does, and I
Yeah,
often
and I
wonder.
know Heather. I gotta. That's I'm gotta catch up.
I often wonder about the scream, if it, how far or how close away it was, because she has said that she could hear all the way down there to the church where they had, set up for whenever Summer first went missing, their command post.
Oh, with the
Not the one up at the top of Beach Creek that's up on in the curve, but the other one down the other way. Is it?
not Solomon's Temple, but yeah, I know the name. I just lost it.
Yeah, I did too. But the neighbor has said that she could hear the cows and stuff that went on down there at that church all the way up there where she lived at. So I often wonder if that.
Somebody in chat will put it. We know it, but
My old man's home. I had to just give him smooches. I'm back,
oh,
and
Mount
my dogs
Carmel,
are excited. I'll hear them happy daddy home dances.
Mount Carmel Baptist Church is called.
But she has often said that she could hear noises from clear down to the church. And at the
Hmm.
time that she gave the scream and everything, I often wonder. I don't take that. I can't take that into account. And like Ronnie Lawson said, that it was unfounded. I think it's
Did he use
because,
that word though, actually? Because I went back and listened to that interview and he didn't really say unfounded. He said, I'm not sure. I don't think he used that word though.
I was thinking he did.
Because a lot of people keep saying that word and the definition and everything, but I don't remember him saying that. It was something like that, but he didn't say that word. Unsubstantiated maybe or something. I'm not sure what he used. I'm gonna go back and watch it again.
Yeah, I might
Because
have
that
it
makes a big
nearby.
difference, right? Like what word he used. Yeah. Yeah, if you've got it.
But I think, I think that, Ronnie Lawson, he knows how the sound travels and
Hmm.
everything. And I don't think when he used that term, I don't think he meant like it didn't happen. It's just unfounded because she was like, she's the only one that heard it type thing. And, um,
Yeah, it could have been a half mile away.
yeah, it could have been.
Yeah. Well, imagine when Don and Candace get sauced up and start fighting. Imagine how many people heard that.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? I just
Well, that's just, with anybody that lives around this area.
yeah.
I mean, just in these valleys and the hills and the way that, the terrain is, it could be any family. And trust me, it happens. It happens a lot.
A couple people said he did say unfounded. Okay, because I watched the interview and he didn't use that word, but maybe in a different interview he did. But yeah, but that doesn't mean it didn't happen, right? That just means that there's nothing to substantiate it,
Exactly.
right? Like if you had
Yeah,
two people that said it in different spots, then it would be different.
correct. It would
Yeah.
make a huge difference if, say, Jody Sue had said something, and then say, somebody that lived on Simpson Holler or Simpson Loop or Simpson Road. I get them all mixed up. Holler Loop Road Lane.
Simpson Road, the
Yeah,
little short one on Ben Hill. Yeah.
right. If somebody had like back in there had said that they had heard a scream too around the same time, that might have been more of, like you said, a substantiated scream
The thing
kind of.
that I want to know the most is where all they searched at and with what, and they're not going to tell us because they're worried about her getting moved or something. But it's been like 11 months, right? And they don't want public going in there, and I see why, because it's all private property, right? So the public really can't just go in and look anyway. It's got to be like a certified search team with permission. I understand that, but it'd be nice to know exactly where they searched. We know a couple spots because of leaks or, what they were there and like that night and stuff, but we don't know like all the places. Like what I was showing today, did they ever go up in there? You know what I mean? That's what I think about.
Yeah.
The ponds, there's two of them. There's a pond right on Ben Hill Road.
They dragged those ponds.
Did they?
I'm pretty sure they did. They had was it Nita Diver, and they had a couple of others that came in, search crews that, went through the water and did the sonar.
Yeah. Like, yeah, with the thing that shows underwater. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Okay.
the search areas are really interesting to me. I'd like to see where all they went. Like we know they were on Fields Road that day because of the news, and we know they were out on Beach Creek up by Solomon's Temple in them fields, and we know they were all around the house. And the comment that Lawson made, that I think Lawson said it, that baffled me, was that he wanted people to search their own property. If they couldn't do it on their own, that they would help them. So then I'm thinking, well, what about all these people that
Yep.
didn't look, right?
Yeah. Exactly. They don't know if these people searched her property. And I think it was Tim Coop said that that they wouldn't be looking for a little girl, probably walking around, that they needed to be looking for something the size of a laptop. So any place that a laptop could hide, you needed to look.
Right. Well, Connie, the problem is they just in February when they went searching, there was like 16 different small search groups, and they were all over the place. And we don't know. They didn't tell where they went, so we don't know where they've searched. We have no clue. We know the night she went missing, they were all around the property and wherever else they went. We know they've been on Fields Road, and we know they've been on Beach Creek out in them fields because we saw them. But other
Right
than that,
here, I found the article. We could play the video and hear it too, but in this article it says Sheriff Lawson also spoke to us about the report of a scream heard by a neighbor. Best I recall, it's been a couple months ago, and I think that was unfounded, shared Lawson.
oh, all right, that's written. That's a written statement.
Yes, that
Okay,
is on WVLT 8. I don't know how to.
okay. See, that's what I'm talking about right there. It's from a news station, right?
Yes, but
Okay,
no, but he was on there saying it.
okay. Because if you go to the actual where he's behind, where he's talking to the camera, the one I saw, I'll have to find it. But he used different words. Unless I'm crazy or something, I don't know, but yeah,
We have to go back a lot and listen. And I know
yeah,
I get things wrong and have to go back and correct myself.
but yeah, it's all in little words that you really got to be honed in on exactly what they mean. On duty, Ron, there was an expert talking about the drone that was used in the search.
Oh,
It was
no,
pretty
it's
high
not a hot
tech.
spot. And it's a dead end road, so there's very little traffic, if any.
Don Will says he doesn't know why anyone would take his daughter, but isn't shocked by the disappearance of a child.
There's a lot of missing children.
But Sheriff Lawson says children don't just go missing, especially in Hawkins County.
No, ma'am, we don't have any other missing children.
At Summer's Hilltop home, Wells showed me a refrigerator he says Summer played on.
We don't. I don't know what else she did. What in the world is that?
And we walked to Summer's swing. This is her favorite.
That's her favorite. Yeah, she liked to twirl.
Don Wells is pleading for his daughter's return.
Whoever has her will have mercy, and please let her come home.
Sheriff Lawson says investigators remain committed to finding Summer.
Everyone in Summer's case is still a suspect.
Don Wells tells me he didn't know the dog
I
trail
went too far up.
existed until after Summer disappeared.
Erica, you've talked to Summer's mother before as well. She was not a part of this story. Where was she when you were doing these interviews?
Candace Block.
It's in this video, but
Wells tells me the family home on Ben Hill Road is surrounded.
Heard a scream, a really funny scream. I think they just carried her to a vehicle and threw her in there and took her somewhere far away from here.
Hawkins County Sheriff Ronnie Lawson has not publicly commented on specifics of the case until now. I asked Sheriff Lawson about Wells' claims. Did dogs follow Summer's scent down the trail to the main road? The sheriff says yes.
The dogs had a pretty good trail, a track for a little while, but then it disappeared. But they lost scent when they come to the road. And sometimes canines, they will lose the scent when it changes different type, where they maybe went from the gravel to the pavement.
And did a neighbor hear a scream?
Best I recall, it's been a couple months ago. I think it was unfounded.
Wells tells me the family home on Ben Hill Road is surrounded.
he used the word unfounded. He says, I think that was a couple of months ago when it's been unfounded.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean that the scream was not there. It could have been very distant. or just no proof, to show that the scream actually happened.
Yeah. Well, I talked about, I mean, it's a theory, and not really a theory, but if you put things together, um, let's say Candace doesn't know anything, right?
Right.
And, everybody started tripping about the 4 hour thing, but the 4 hours has always been 4 hours. It's always been since whatever, and the Ellie doesn't talk about the milk jug video. They talk about the swimming video, right? I
Mhm.
don't know if anybody ever noticed that, but it's been since they dropped H off all the way until the 911 call, which has always been like 2:30 till 6:30. But let's just say that she dropped H off at 2:30, right? And it's a half hour home, 25 minutes, whatever. And so that puts her at like 3 o'clock, right? So then they plant their flowers, they're doing whatever they're doing, right?
I would have to go back to Chris McDonough's timeline, or to that video interview with Candace,
Hmm.
before I quote, try to quote her timeline, and I
Well,
think.
she kind of skips all the way. It don't make sense because she goes all the way to when they dropped him off. They went home. They planted flowers, and then it was only 10 minutes. She was only gone 10 minutes, and then she called Don. Don said call the police or whatever it is. By then it's already 6:30. But what I'm saying is, if she dropped H off, like logically, without even saying what she did, let's just say she dropped H off at 2:30, got home at around 3, right?
Hmm.
So then they did whatever they were doing. They did the washing hands, the candy, planting flowers, whatever. And say that was like an hour and a half or so. Say it got to be about 4:30. Okay.
Right.
Then you got grandma supposed to be taking a nap or whatever, and then you got this alleged scream, right? And that was supposed to be at like 4:30 or something, right?
Between 4:30 and 4:42.
Okay, between 4:40 and 4:32. So say that happened, right? Okay, and then Candace is doing whatever she's doing, and 10 minutes goes by, which could be a half hour, an hour to her, right?
Hmm.
And so then she looks in the house. Summer's not there. She notices her missing. She goes walking around the property. Summer's not there. She goes down. She walks down Ben Hill Road all the way to Fred Light's house. Says something to him. No, Summer's not down there. Walks all the way back home. Still can't find Summer. Then she gets in the truck. Then she comes down the driveway. She goes out toward Beach Creek, and she turns up Beach Creek looking like along the road or whatever one way. Goes to one church, doesn't see her. Goes back down and goes the other way to the other church, doesn't see her. Comes back, drives down whatever holler. She said as far as she could go. I thought it was like way back Ben Hill Road, but apparently not because of the cable. So maybe she went back in Light Hollow or she went back down Ben Hill or whatever. And then she's on the horn with Don, right? So that could all take an hour and a half.
It took it. I mean, from my understanding, she searched pretty thoroughly on that property before calling. Before,
Right.
she checked all of the spots.
So if you got from
That
4:30 from that alleged scream until 6:30, it's only 2 hours. So if you got her searching the house, searching the property, walking down Ben Hill Road and all the way back, getting in the truck, driving up to Beach Creek, looking down both sides of the road, can't find her, coming back down Ben Hill one more time, and then calling, that could take 2 hours,
Mhm.
realistically, logically.
And
So if
we also have to keep in mind, and I was also, I sat there with Candace a lot at her kitchen table, and you cannot not eavesdrop when you're sitting there at her table, and she puts everybody on speakerphone because they're on FaceTime.
right,
So I do know that she was told, and Dawn was told continuously, don't tell anybody anything about your timeline.
right,
That's what they kept saying. Do not divulge the details of your timeline, because that could have been vital information for law enforcement in order to find Summer.
right,
And when they tell their timeline, that if the parents are not responsible and they tell their timeline, then the culprit is able to create their narrative.
right. Well, that reminds me of of Scott Peterson, right?
Mm-hmm.
The news put out where he was fishing that day. The news put out where he went before she was found. And then a few days later, a week or however long it was, her body washes up on that shore exactly where they said.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's why he's going for his new trial or whatever he's doing. But that's what that reminds me of. So you're right. Like if they say their timeline, they could the culprit, like say there is a culprit, could plant stuff to make them look guilty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So yeah, I see where you're getting at. Makes total
And
sense.
that's what I heard them being told while I was sitting there.
So all this time
They
that they're
were
just sitting there
they
saying
were
whatever they're saying is because they can't say anything, so they're just rattling off whatever people want to hear now. You know what I mean?
well
They're
not
just
well yeah, kind of like trying to give them what people want to hear, and
yeah,
they can't.
without saying what happened. Right. Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. So that's yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I try to look at it from every way. You can't really point fingers if you don't know. You
But
know.
nobody, it's like I tried to stress that. I was like, I was there. I heard what they told Candace and
Hmm.
everything, and about Don staying off of YouTube and to quit telling everything that he knows. And that was in the uh Ronnie Lawson, he even that came out of his mouth. People need to quit telling everything they know.
Yeah.
And there was one person that messaged me that is from the Beach Creek community, and that's all. I'm not going to say any names. And said that it was a threat, that the sheriff was threatening her by making this statement. And I watched a statement, and I'm like, no, this is talking about Don being on YouTube, telling everything he knows,
Yeah.
naming potential suspects and
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah. What do you
And
think?
what's my opinion?
Yeah. I'm leaning towards she just wandered off. That's the most simplest, logical form of it all, right? That's first. That's what I lean toward first.
I did think in the beginning that she wandered off on her own
Hmm.
and a crime of opportunity happened.
Hmm.
I know a lot of things that I can't say,
Right.
so I have my reasons why I have my opinions.
So everywhere I went and all the property I went on I wasn't supposed to, and all this I did is probably for nothing because it doesn't have anything to do with it.
You
Probably.
don't know that. You don't know that.
I know. You know what'll make me feel really bad though is if I was that right there, wherever she is, and they find her, and I was right at that spot and didn't see her. I'm gonna feel so disappointed in myself
No.
because, like, the
Yeah.
videos I'm putting
I
up
know
is
I know
mostly,
what you mean, but you can't do that. I mean,
the videos I'm putting up is basically showing the area, but I was on foot a lot in
do
a
you want a
lot of
taco?
places, and it just, yeah, I would feel really disappointed in myself if that happened, but.
Hang on just a second. I've got the taco meat heating up whenever you want it. Yeah, I was thinking about cooking dinner and I already had tacos made. All I had to do is heat it up.
You can email me, AK, if somebody wants to drop my email.
But it
What do you think about the house that I saw over on Chimney Top Loop on the corner? Did you see that?
are you able to pull that up?
I probably can because not that it's related to Summer's disappearance per se, but maybe that let's see here. I got to get rid of some stuff because I don't think my computer. I don't even have a computer. It's like a 2-in-1 tablet thing. Let's see. If well, I turned the music off because you're up, so I guess I can leave that off. So I could close that, and I could. Let's see. Part 2 is. Part 3 is chimney. Part 4, broom and chimney. Yep, it's part 4, I think.
Thank you all, everybody in chat, so much. Thank you. I'm seeing your comments, but I'm on my StreamYard page watching for Mitt, hopefully not to overtalk and interrupt.
Okay, let's see. Share. I'm working on it. Oh, I could have just shared a video file. I don't know how to do this real good yet, but
It takes time.
this one.
The hardest part, once you get used to it, the hardest part is going to be finding what you want to show. And once you find it, the rest is downhill.
Well, all of my video, I got it all named and I got it pretty organized.
No, I wish mine was organized. I found a bunch of stuff in trash in my G drives, trash in my computer, and I restored all of them. And I went to another account, and that's where I found the Jody Sue drives that I had stashed on another Google account because of space issues, you know.
It's probably choppy on the stream. I don't know because my internet's not that good. That house right there.
That house right there?
Yeah. And every time I went by, it had cars in different spots. So they come and they go, except for that old red truck right there. That one doesn't move. But I'm about to get out the car. Every window is boarded up, but yet there's one right there, 1 car, 2 cars. There's 4 cars that day. The day before there was 5. Isn't that wild, that house?
Yeah, they live like that around here.
But there's no windows. They had every window boarded up. And I was like trying to zoom in close to look and to see if it had cameras. There's some wires. Let me get off so it's clear. Yeah. There's some wires. But yeah, and on the Google thing, it's empty. There's no cars there at all.
You never saw anybody there, ever?
I never saw no.
Did you do a property lookup to see who owned it?
No, I could probably do that right now. Is that doxing people when you do that because it's public information?
Just don't. It's public information, but I mean.
Don't show their name or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah. But there are.
But I'm wondering, like, you know how Don cut off the video, like, a quarter mile up this road when he gave it to share?
Was this the house that he looked back at, or?
No, this one's on the corner past where his video cut off at. This one's on the corner at Chimney Top and Horton Highway.
If he was videoing live or through a messenger or something.
No,
it could have been a Wi-Fi issue that cut out.
No, he went over there and videoed it and gave it to share later.
Did she clip it out herself, or did he?
He sent her like 7, and she put this one and another one together, but she's got like 5 more of other places he went. But this is one place he went. Just after showing the area or whatever, Cher told me that she just told him to go around and show where she could have went or where if somebody took her or whatever. And he did this road, but he cut the camera off before this house. And I'm just wondering if he went, you know, he liked to dabble in his stuff. I'm just wondering if this is where he would go and get it.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
Chimney Loop, when you get far back in there, you can go either right or left, can't you?
Nope.
But it's actually a road that cuts off that veers to the right, and then Chimney Loop kind of curves around to the left.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that the way it is? It's almost like a Y.
Well, Chimney Top is like a horseshoe from Horton Highway, but then on the right-hand side of it, you've got one road that like veers off and goes down and turns into Oak Circle and goes by Broom
Okay,
Hollow. And yeah,
right.
I can probably skip back to where that is.
So is this like further towards the end of those roads, or
That house is at the end of Chimney Top. So if you go in where Don went in, you went all the way around the video where he videoed. His video cuts off, and if you keep going, that house is back out at the other side of Horton Highway.
maybe he didn't go back that far?
It's like a loop. I turn onto it right in the middle, right at that road, that Y you're
Maybe he
talking
knows.
about.
Maybe he knew something that you didn't know, and you got lucky and didn't get shot. I'm sorry, I
Right?
shouldn't have said that, but no, it's seriously. I mean, we do have people that are like that. If you go up to their property and you're like on their road, because a lot of these roads here, you'll see like a road sign, and it'll be like a family name, kind of like Ben Hill Road.
Yep.
But when you get on it, you realize it's a private drive
I'm skipping
because
forward,
their
you guys.
driveway goes way back in the mountains and they live way back in the mountains, and it's just
This
that
corner
road
right,
is, private property, and you don't even realize it till you like pull right up in their front porch.
this corner right here. I'm coming in on that side road right here. Chimney Top's right in front of us. If you go left, you go to Horton Highway. If you go right, you loop around and go to Horton Highway. And this road is called whatever it's called. I think I panned toward it. Taylor Road, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's at that corner.
And it's hard telling. She might have it on the other videos that she has and just not know it.
Yeah.
It's possible.
But that house
But
is interesting to me just because of what it is. Like, if it's something's going on bad there, the cops you'd think would already shut it down.
I have
But
seen houses like that around, and there is usually drugs involved, yes. People with tempers breaking out windows, and there's a whole list of things that could be. But with the traffic that you mentioned, I would
yeah, I never saw
probably
nobody
lean.
going in or out, but I saw different cars in different spots every time I went by. I went there like 3 times in a week.
With the traffic, it sounds more of like a tweaker boarded window than it would be just a broken boarded window. I don't
Right.
know. I've
Yeah, there's
never
something
tweaked, so I don't know what they go through other than what I've been told by TV.
there's
And
something going on there. I don't know what it
it's,
is, but
yeah, and with the traffic, different cars, different spots every day.
Money Smoke wants to talk about the red truck. Have you heard my red truck story or no?
I've heard bits and pieces about it. I had an incident with the red truck.
So mine was, I was doing the timeline. I went all around where they said they went that day, every stop, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I was going from the dollar store to Ben Hill. And you know where the dollar store is at the end of 347
Yes.
when you're headed toward Kingsport, right? Well, I left the
I've
dollar
been there.
store.
I've been there with Candace before.
Yeah, you leave the dollar store. You know how you leave the dollar store and then you turn right on 347 and you whip all the way through, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I turn on 347 and there's a truck in front of me that's going slow, and I wait, I kind of just follow behind him, and he ends up turning left and going off onto a side street or driveway or whatever he did. So then I'm driving. I'm not going real fast. I'm just kind of lollygagging along, and I'm rolling film, right, because I want to show the whole route. So I look in my rearview mirror, and there's this truck behind me, and I didn't think nothing of it at first. Well, then it just stayed right on me. So I thought, okay, I'll speed up. I must not be going fast enough. Well, 347 Lone Star Road all the way to Solomon's Temple is double yellow the whole way. There's not even one spot that you can pass. So I speed up and I'm going over the speed limit, and this dude stays right on me. So I thought, okay, well, if he's local and I'm still driving too slow, or slow for him, if I slow way down, he'll just pass me even though it's double yellow because he's local and he's in a hurry. So I slow down. He starts weaving back and forth behind me, like rubbing bumpers, like literally. And I'm freaking out. And so all the way to Solomon's Temple. So then I'm going toward, the fence right in front of Solomon's Temple with the Where's Summer thing and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So I come around that corner and I'm still on Lone Star because it turns to Beach Creek a little while later or whatever. So now I'm between Solomon's Temple and Ben Hill. And he's right on me still. I thought he'd go like the other way in front of Solomon's, like up Blair's Gap toward Churchill
Right.
or whatever it is. Yep. He didn't. He stayed right on me. So it's the first road I pull off. I don't pull into the road. I kind of pull crossways across the front of it,
Mm-hmm.
kind of parallel with the main road. And he goes zooming by. Well, I'm trying to pull my camera off my mirror, and it stops recording. I start it back up. I thought I didn't have it. I put it out my side window and I get him passing by me. And as soon as he passes by, I gun it because I don't think I'm recording and I want to get his plate. So then I get it recording for the third time, putting it on my mirror. And then I'm chasing him now, trying to get close enough to get his plate on camera. Well, I couldn't catch the dude. I could not catch him. And that Jeep was roaring. I must have been doing 70 down Beach Creek Road, and I could not catch the guy. And he's still in my frame. And I give up, and I pull into Ben Hill, not all the way in, but I kind of skid into the road at the end of it, pointing toward the telephone pole that's got that green. My thumbnail I used with the green birdhouse thing that's on the telephone pole? That thumbnail is from that end of that video. That's how I was facing, right at the pole. And I just gave up. I let him go.
Did you
But
get
I
the tag number?
I went back. I didn't think I had it. I didn't know what it was. I didn't realize it was a red Toyota Tacoma, the right body style. I had no clue when that happened, and I was all freaked out. And I went live that night from my room, and I'm like, look, you guys, look what happened. And I'm playing it live, and everybody's like, that's what that is. And I start freaking out, and then I change the subject, and I'm talking for like another half hour, and then I'm like, I got to shut this down and private this. Because everybody's like, yeah, so I did. So then I looked at it real close, and I'm like, my God, I got the guy on like 80 or 100 frames. I got his hat, his face, his shirt, clear as day. I got his license plate, all of it. So I calls TBI twice. I called Pruitt. TBI, I talked to somebody twice. And then, because I called back, because I didn't hear anything from him for a couple of days. I'm like, look, I'm leaving. I'm not staying here. So if you guys want, my footage. So then I called Pruitt. And I left messages on his voicemail or his machine or whatever, and I never heard nothing back all the way till now.
Wow.
Haven't heard nothing. So a few people, Duty Ron knows that I have it, and I emailed him, so he's supposed to be emailing me back, I think, because I need somebody that can take this, and if it's important, get it to the right people. It might not be anything, but it might be something,
Yeah. Let me see here. I want to drop you my email in private chat.
And there's people in this chat that actually saw it. So I'm not making up this story to try to cause some more flack. You know what I mean? That's the last thing I want to happen. So don't everybody go running wild with this, because that's not what I want.
It could be nothing, but then again, we never know.
Yeah, but I don't want to like start a whole bunch of stuff where it all runs wild and stuff all over YouTube. I don't want that to happen, you guys. So the video is private now, but the people that were there was 500 people in my chat when I was live doing it, and I privated it. So I'm sure there's people in here that saw it. So that's all I can do. And I haven't played it. I was gonna play it, but I haven't.
I dropped you contact information there in private chat.
Oh,
I've
okay.
got a little list of red truck tag numbers, and the incident that I had gone to Kingsport with Candace and Grandma, and it wasn't anything as exciting. Well, it was kind of exciting. It was exciting for me, but she we went to take her to a dentist appointment. I was just riding along to keep Grandma company while she was back there having the x-rays done on her teeth before she got them pulled. And we left there and we're coming down Stone Drive, and we're going to turn into like Chick-fil-A or something. I can't remember. We was going to go somewhere, and we were in a turning lane. And then all of a sudden, she just whips out of that turning lane, cuts across all of Stone Drive in front of all these cars. And I'm like, what's going on? And she's like, there's a red truck with the ladder racks. You know, and I'm like getting thrown all over the back seat and everything. And I'm like holding on, like, oh crap. I was like, well, what are we going to do when we get there? And it was like I had my phone, and she was like, go get a picture of it. So I walked across 2 parking lots, and I'm like looking at my phone, trying to get my camera to come on and everything. And as soon as I do it, I get the low battery warning. And I'm
Oh
like,
no.
no, don't do this to me. No. And I walk up to the back of the truck and I start zooming in to take a picture. And whenever I look down, I'm recording. And it's like I got all of it. And then it's like I start walking away, and the guy comes out of the restaurant and says, "Can I help you?" And I says, "No, I got it." You know, I don't think I said anything actually. I don't think I said anything. He's like, "I want to call the law," and I was like, "Go ahead." I shut my camera off, and I was just like, "Go right ahead, please do." But I just hightailed it back and I jumped in before I even got the door shut. Candace was in reverse, peeling rubber, getting us out of there.
Wow. It's
But
amazing how many red Toyota Tacomas are around though, because I was over, I forget the name of the place. It was at the gas station, I think in Jonesboro. There's a really badass, you might know it. There's a badass vegetable stand. Uh, Wade, Wade's. Do you know where that is?
Wade's
It's just called Wade's, and he has like plants, and he has like all kind of vegetables, and
Wade's greenhouse.
it might be. And it's a little shack he's got, and there's a little parking lot, and there's a store right there, I think. And he sells like, cherries and
Yeah,
tomatoes and
the
all
fruit
that.
stand.
Yeah, and they got handmade birdhouses there that are really super cool. Yeah, Wade's. That was a really cool spot. But anyways, the marathon or whatever it was, that's right by there across the street, because my tire went flat twice before I even got to. It's in, no, it's not in Jonesboro. It's in Johnson City, right? Kind of over that way somewhere.
Wade's.
Yeah, Wade's. It's kind
Wade's
of.
Market. Wade's Market rings a bell. Let me look it up.
I think it's over by Johnson City, kind of in between right there. But yeah, so I had to stop at the gas station to put air in the stupid tire, and I come out and there's a dang red Toyota Tacoma, so I took a picture of that one. So I got that one too. I got like 4 or 5 of them.
There's the Wade's Market in Weber City, Virginia.
No,
And it's a fruit farm sales.
this one's really small. It's a really small place. Just like an outside roof shack. I think she fell off, you guys. Yeah, she did. She'll be back. She's probably looking. Any friends that are LE? Anyone that run that plate number? Well, I have family that's cops. So yeah, I should probably, but it's not. They're not supposed to do that, right?
And it's easy to get lost
Oh, there you go.
as
You
an
were gone.
adult.
You were gone for a minute.
Oh, was I?
Yeah.
Oh,
But yeah, that's where it was. The Wade's I went to was like a little shack. It was like a little, just a roof. It wasn't a building, and he was in another store's parking lot. But he had really super cool stuff. And Wade was the guy behind the counter too. Um, Somebody else was talking about that place. It's really super good stuff. But yeah, I had to bring some stuff home with me from there. But anyway, yeah, I was at the gas station there, and I found another old boxy toilet Tacoma, and I took a picture of it.
right. I'm wondering if that was like in Weber City or if that was actually in Tennessee.
Well, when you go into
Or-
Virginia, when you're running up that way toward Ohio, you're only in Virginia for a minute because you cross the river on that bridge, and then you're running along the river, and then you end up crossing back over again. It's like a shortcut. So it was before that. It was like between. I think it was between. It was between Kingsport and Johnson City. So was that Webersville?
Uh, if it was between King Gray, was it Gray?
It might have been. I don't
Gray,
know. I'd have to
Tennessee.
look up where it was, but
I know Gray has a few um greenhouses there around that area. But now if you're on 26 and you just ride 26 all the way out till it like runs out, you go into Virginia and you just keep on going and through Virginia.
what city is that where you cross the bridge into Virginia? There's like two bridges right next to one another. They're like an old girder looking bridge. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
On 26. Yeah.
that's Weber City. Like they've got all the sound barriers down through there,
Yeah.
and kind of you feel like you're coming off a mountain, going into a mountain. Is the sensation I always got whenever I went that way.
Yeah. I don't
Um,
know. I know I was on 26 and I know I went up and I was in Virginia for a quick second, but then I scooped over to the left and went over toward Ohio because I was headed to Michigan. Because when I came down 75 all the way down and then cut down whatever that is, 26E or whatever into Rogersville.
mhm.
But on the way back, I went from Kingsport up, so where you're talking about in Virginia, but then I cut left over to Ohio. But yeah, there's a lot of cool. It's all cool around in there, all over the place.
Yeah, it's beautiful country. It is.
But yeah, the
Um,
trucks just were overwhelming because when you know that truck and it's like part of the puzzle pieces that haven't been put together, you're like every truck you see is red after a while. That's all you see is red
yes. Well,
trucks.
it's like, I told somebody like somebody asked me what's up with all these missing kids in Tennessee,
Well, I
and I'm
wanted to
like,
talk about that too. Go ahead, because I got
it's kind of like, the red truck thing. It's like you don't realize how many red trucks there are until you're looking for one, and then they're everywhere.
yeah,
And until a missing child or a missing person grabs your heart and tugs at your heartstrings, like the reason we're here today for summer. Until that happens and you start paying attention to it, you don't see it. It's the
right.
same as a vehicle. And
I
I
looked
think
at
that's
missing
what it is.
I looked at missing people in Hawkins County. You know how many unsolved missing people there are in Hawkins County?
6
Yeah, there's only 6. How many of them are kids? 1.
summer wells.
That's it. How many missing unsolved missing cases are in Kingsport in Sullivan County?
I'd have to pull my list out and look.
I don't know about all Sullivan County, but Kingsport there's 26. Guess how many single digit kids?
None.
None. Correct. So, and there's a lot of what's weird in Kingsport. Out of the 26, they're either old people, right? Like they got dementia or something. They're older, like elderly, like 60s, 70s, right? But most of them are teenage boys, which I thought weird because most of the time it's girls, right, running away.
I wonder, like, there is a place that buries the homeless in Sullivan County, and they do this quite often. And the last time that I saw an article on it, I was just sitting there because it looked like they had 9 urns.
9?
9.
Wow.
And they say the homeless and the unidentified is where they bury these people at. And I'm just sitting here like, I never see articles about, hey, this person's deceased. Can y'all help us find a family member? I never see anything like that locally.
Well, it doesn't make
I
any
never.
sense to me in the time that we live right now with the reverse DNA thing, right?
Hmm.
So if they have no clue who the person was, they can do a DNA, and then they can go through like there's 2, the ancestry, and then what's the other one? Um,
23andMe.
I'm not sure, but
I don't know what it's called. I've
you
heard of
reverse,
23andMe.
you go backwards with the DNA, and you find different little strains, and you can piece together. That's how they're solving murders from like a long time ago now. The person's long and dead, but they're finding like a descendant from that person because they do that lookup and then they hit the strain and it's somebody that's alive now that doesn't even know from like 4 generations ago. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm wondering how come these
They've
unidentified people
solved a couple of crimes that way. Brought a couple of people to justice doing that.
during the reverse DNA thing. Yeah. So like
Yeah.
the unidentified people that they have, you'd think they'd be doing it on them and finding out who they're related to figure out who they are.
Hmm. We would think. I mean, I don't know what's up with that, but it just like, I know it's just something, I don't know, it may not be nothing to it. It just caught my attention. Like, if, they were homeless and everything, they've got to have family. I know that some don't, but it just seems like we would hear more about it, in our local news, especially if any of them were actually unidentified.
Hmm.
We would be hearing about that.
Well, that's not very nice.
It ain't.
I can't never do it. It always says. Oh, my
I,
phone. Am I there still?
yeah, you're here.
Okay, my phone just buffered. I'm I'm on my phone. That's how. And then I'm using my phone and my computer, or not my tablet or whatever, so I can handle it.
Right.
Yeah, these trolls that come in chat, these bots or whatever you want to call it. Every time I try to block them, it says failed to whatever, whatever. It doesn't let me do it, but one of my mods got them.
I gotta send an email real quick. Not an email, message.
What do you think about the pool?
That the dogs tore up.
Well, the pool, the couple pictures that are coming out, I think that it's old pictures because the stuff in the yard is different, right?
I would have to like really study it. Looking at the hair that Summer had when she was crawling out looked short. It looked like she had her knees up on the inside edge of the pool.
Right?
Um, I can't remember if I saw a swimming pool up there or not. There was not one set up, but as far as, laying down somewhere and everything, I can't remember if I
Well,
saw one up there.
you guys are good at this. If you look at the pool pic, there's 2 of them, right? I think there's one with her standing in it with the water level really low, and then there's one where she's like climbing out of it or whatever, like you said, right? But look at the yard. And like the scaffolding isn't up against the shed. It looks like there's a white canoe or boat, some kind of boat upside down.
Yes, just that's what they used to go fishing in whenever they went to the river. They drift on the river and fish.
The,
And
the red canoe or a white one?
I'm thinking it might have been the red. I don't know.
Because there's a red one down below in the in the pictures. This one was white.
Red.
When you look at the pool pic, there's a white. I might be wrong, but if you look close, look for a white
There's so
boat.
much. There's just so much stuff up there in the yard. So many vehicles and everything. I
Yeah.
didn't take a mental note of everything that I saw.
But if you look at that pool pic really close, look at everything in the yard compared to the pictures that were taken and video that was taken right after, and it looks totally different to me. So it seems like it was like the summer before, maybe. I don't know if she'd be a whole year younger there or not. Maybe not, but at least maybe a couple months. I don't know.
I can probably ask and find out. I mean, that's not.
Yeah.
I don't think that that's like.
Well, everybody's tripping over it because they're saying it was there the day before or whatever, and then it's gone after, right? But I don't think that's the case. I think that's an older pic from a while before. It just seems like it. Her hair's different, and the yard's all different.
I'll just send a message. I'll see if I can get a response on that. I'll ask.
Because that would clear a lot up.
Yeah,
like all the stuff that's running around. Yeah, that's what needs to be done.
I don't think anything about the panda on it because I know that I saw like 3 different pools in people's yards with pandas on them. It was just the brand of pool that, Walmart or whoever had.
Yeah.
Just some cheap disposable pools.
It won't let me block them, Shell. It just says something, something. Oh, you blocked them out? Okay. Yeah, I tried and it makes me buffer and says there's a mistake or something. I don't know what it's doing to me.
I will, innocent until proven guilty. I will send her prayers. I don't know if she'll get them, but I don't know where she's at, but I have been promised that she is safe.
Oh, you're talking about Candace?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, both her and Don did a lot of things wrong, and coming on YouTube and doing all that stuff, I can see, but
they did. The one thing that I just wish I can, get people to understand, with Candace, she's got like the social skills, social aspect of a 15-year-old.
Right.
And she thinks the way a 15-year-old would think. I mean, she's intelligent and everything, but there are barriers there.
Right. Yeah.
And she's very gullible. And Dawn is extremely gullible. And that is just their baseline, And Dawn, somebody could have probably started talking to him about, the Senate meeting and talking about UFOs and say, well, what do you think about a UFO coming and getting Summer? And he would actually think about it.
Right.
I mean, that is Dawn. He considers everything.
I got questions for you too. Grandma, she had that knee thing in the appointment in the morning, right? Or just right to the ER, whichever it was. With all that they say about all the places they went and the stores and how H said, oh, well, them two only went in the store and they went to all these places. Do you think Grandis was out and about on her feet all that day?
Grandma's tough.
Because it
She
seems to
is
me that
tough.
it seems to me she'd want to like get her script and go home and then like lay down. That's kind of what you know, I
I
wouldn't want to
think
be out in a vehicle all day.
I think that she went along. I mean, she had to get her prescriptions and to
Hmm.
go all the way back to Beach Creek and drop her off, and then go all the way back to Walgreens and then drop Hunter off, and then all the way back home. I don't see them doing it that way,
Right.
personally. Just being, from this area and the way that the roads and the travel time is, and
Well, it's
I
an
do
hour,
know,
right? It's an hour out of the way to do that.
yeah.
Hmm.
I don't think, they were in the pharmacies around here. I don't know about anywhere else, but the pharmacies around here, I know sometimes depending on what time of day it is, you're lucky if you get it the same day you drop the prescription off.
Right.
Sometimes it's the next day.
Right.
But like I said, depending on what time you get there with the script, which they got there early, and the time that they got there, you got to consider all these people are leaving their doctor's appointments with their scripts and taking them in there, and
Hmm.
so I don't think anything unnatural of it. Every place that Candace said that she stopped at with her mom and Hunter, with the exception of the hospital, I have been to with Candace and Grandma. Those are normal, typical stops for them. It's like nothing, you know,
Hmm.
before Summer went missing, I don't know, but I mean, I think that if, I don't know, just all of the places that they talked about, I've been there with Candace and Grandma, and I've went in with them and come right back out, and
Well, living out on Ben Hill like that, when you run into town, when you run into Kingsport, you probably do a whole bunch of things in one day, so you don't have to keep running back and forth, right? That's what
oh yeah, oh yeah,
yeah,
country life, country life. When you live out in the boonies, when you go to town, you get it done, because once you get home, you ain't going back out.
right. So you're gonna
You're
go
not
everywhere
running
there is to
back out.
go and get everything you can get while you're there.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's it. And like me, I I've got health issues. I'm allergic to the sun and a few other things wrong with me. So I try not to go shopping. I stay inside most of the time because the sun makes me really sick. But it's like I go to town and I get everything and I stock up for 2 months. And then, the only thing that we really need is like milk,
Hmm.
the rest of the time through. And then it's just, I'm whenever I go out and I do it all.
I got another question. Um, can Summer swim? Because a lot of people say she can't swim, and I don't see that. I see her that she can swim.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I didn't know Summer. I didn't start going up to Candace's until after the boys left.
Because when you watch the videos of her, she's not afraid of the water.
She's not afraid of the water. She does not like get splashed in her face.
Hmm.
Um, but as far as actual swimming, I don't know. She likes splashing around, of course. We all saw that, but I
Yeah.
don't think she's the actual, keeping herself afloat and swimming in that nature. I don't think she can do that.
No. But yeah, like at the Warrior's Path, it's not deep at all. Like I walked out in the water. I stripped down and went in the water, and it's like shallow and sandy
Hmm.
for quite a ways out, the way that cove's set up. So it's not like she would just slip off into a deep spot and You know what I mean? It
Right.
was shallow. It was shallow for a long
For a
ways.
good ways out. Yep.
Yeah. So I don't.
And people say that that water is nasty and people don't swim there. Bull crap, they do.
You just go watch my video on it. It's crystal clear
I
mountain
mean,
water. I drank it. I said when I was down there, I said, "Yeah, I drink it," but I did.
but people go down there to party, hang out, cool their kids off, cool themselves off,
It's a
smoke a
beautiful
joint.
spot. Beautiful spot. I was gonna clean out them couple trees that are underwater. Not that big one that I walked out on, but the ones that are over on the left. You know, when you're staring out from the bank, I was gonna pull them out, but then I thought, well, they've been here this long, and
Hmm.
it's state property or whatever. I thought, well, I better not. Plus, it
Yeah, it's a
changes.
state park.
Yeah. Plus, it changes it, right? It wouldn't be the same without them there because when you see summer swimming there, they're there.
Hmm.
So I didn't want to disturb that either. Kind of, if that makes sense.
Right. But I remember going to that particular spot. Lord, that was back in the 90s. And hanging out when I was like young in the 80s. It's actually in the 80s that I went. No, it was in the 90s. In the 90s. But right, that little spot right there, I mean, all over Warriors Path, I mean, it is a very hopping spot during the summertime.
There's probably all kind of places just like that to go.
They've got like a playground up there. They got a camping spots.
Hiking
Um,
trails, walking paths, all
yes,
that stuff. Yeah, I went to the main part where like the canopy is, and
you
I
used
think
to be able to rent paddle boats and stuff.
hmm
I don't know if you still can, but I'm pretty sure you used to be able to rent a paddle boat or something around there somewhere.
yeah, I would think so. Over on that main part, that little
Yeah,
cutout where the main, yeah, yeah, that's a really cool spot too. I guess that's where Yennefer is going to be on the
and
15th.
I remember like there was a river too that's right there nearby that somebody drowned in that. I think the drowning happened actually in the 80s, maybe, but like right there, like near the dam. I'm trying to think back. I mean, I've slept a couple of times since then, but there's like a spot in the river too that you could go and you would go down over an embankment and be there at the river and hang out. People would
hmm
like, so I mean, people act like, well, why did they go to that spot? Why did they go to that spot? I mean, it's a normal spot for people around here.
It's
It's
really cool. It's a really cool spot, and it's really pretty. And the way the ledge rock is when you go down that other path and you get to that corner where them trees are, those three trees,
mhm.
where I drop down and it's like pebbly right there, and you get the wake from the boats. Yeah, there's a lot of fishing too. A lot of like bass boats were running around that day. You know, when I was there.
All right, I want to go
I don't
back
know
and
how
look.
I don't know how many times I was there. I was there. I was at Warriors Path quite a bit. Can I
I
answer some of the
don't know if
questions?
I don't know if CPS was in their life or not before Summer went missing. I didn't ask that. I felt that was none of my business. That was between them and law enforcement and CPS.
Maybe says, "What's our theory about what happened to her?" My main, I don't really have theories. I look at every way, but my top on the list is that she wandered off. Now, whether she just wandered off and she's still there somewhere and nobody's found her, or if somebody scooped her up, I don't know. But that's pretty much the
It
simplest, most
is it
logical
is
thing.
it is very highly possible that she is still there and never been found.
I think so too. Because you can't do a line search. Like when you see people, you see these search crews doing line searches. It's in a field, right? And they walk 3 feet apart, right? You
Hmm.
know, and they got the stick and they're moving stuff out of the way and they're going right in a line. You can't do that there. You gotta have
And you
like
get
ropes and stuff.
you get into the thicker parts, and you as an adult, 5'5" and higher, you look at a little hole and think, "Oh, I can't get in there. I can't get in there," but a 5-year-old can.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't see. I mean, I know they've had a lot of people out there and a lot of dogs and a lot of search teams, but it's just, I keep going back to the laundry thing. Man, they had swamp buggies and drones and planes and radar and all kinds of crazy stuff out there, and they spent millions and couldn't find them. So it's just, I mean, I don't discount the search teams and stuff, but it's the terrain.
Right. It's they were damned from the beginning.
Hmm.
I mean, they didn't have the radios to put out a massive search that night because they couldn't put in it because it was getting dark and they couldn't send people out in the woods with no way to communicate back with, the command post and the signal. You experienced what the signal's like there, I'm sure. Um, they had to haul in the radio towers just so they could keep in touch and keep communication open with the searchers. And that's why Ronnie Lawson, the first few days is like, we do not need volunteer searchers just to come up here and start searching, because there's a process to it, because the last thing they needed was somebody to get out there and get lost themselves or get hurt and have no way to find them or get to them.
Hmm.
It would have just crippled their efforts even more than they already were.
Do you know for sure what she was wearing?
The only thing I can say is what the family put out when she went missing.
The gray sweatpants or whatever and the pink top.
Yes, that's the only thing that I know. I've never been told anything different.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
I mean, it's like a lot of people, they don't understand the way that the first day that I met Don and Candace, my old man, he's playing games right now, but he just got home from work. So, but we were here and they came by. I had bought a bunch of scrapbook and stuff and printed off, like close to 400 pictures, maybe more, for her, because I figured she needed a healthy distraction.
hmm
And I was hoping that, this would kind of take her mind off of the bottle,
yeah,
as well as help her heart and her emotions. And she absolutely loved it. But the day that they came by to pick it up, they came in, I invited them in. I showed it to them on the porch because I, was going to invite them in, but I didn't expect them to come in,
hmm
because the morning that she said my husband and I would like to come and pick up the pictures and scrapbook, and she was like, she's just like, please don't do us wrong. She's like, it's hard for me to trust anybody. Please don't do me wrong. And I was just like, it kind of broke my heart reading that, you know. But they get here and they come in and they're sit down, and some of the things, Don mentioned, he was like, he's like, talked to him. I was like, just ignore the people on YouTube and just start talking to local media only, and ask them to start doing press conferences or make your own YouTube, and stay away from them on Facebook, stay away from them on YouTube, and just put only stuff regarding summer and don't answer any questions other
hmm
than, just put everything in one post. And he said, it's been a ride. He said, I don't know, I didn't know what to do when she went missing. And he said, I've been on YouTube, I've been watching videos and checking out, to see what I can do as her father, because they're telling me I can't do this and I can't do that. And they do tell you you can't search. They keep you at home. And in the big, but anyways, back. I want to stay on track with this story and finish it. I want to say he was talking about the Duggar that went missing for years and years and years, and her father went and talked to the detective, and he said this on some kind of an interview. Said that he asked the detective, "Well, what can I do to help find my daughter?" And the detective told me to not stop talking about her, to keep
Hmm.
talking about her, keep saying her name, keep talking, keep talking. And Don got that in his head to keep talking. And his downfall was, I feel he could have talked to better interviewers
Hmm.
that kept him on track about Summer, like the way the local media would,
Right.
and only give the public what they need to hear. And instead, he allowed them, rather than just clicking off panel when the crap show started, he just wrote it out, stayed on there with them, But he was just, he was doing anything and everything in his power, in his mind frame, in his level of education. I don't want to say intelligence because that's kind of degrading, but it's just he was doing what he said. It was either Elizabeth Smart or was it JC Duggard? Is that her name? It was one of the two. I cannot remember. But he said he watched their father do an interview, and the father said he asked the detective, "What can I do? Tell me what I can do." And the detective said, "Don't stop talking about her." And that's what Don said that he was going to do. And I'm like, "Well, Don, honey," I was like, "they're not letting you talk about her because they guide the conversation this way. You need to stop it when they do that and say, 'No, I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about my daughter.'" But he wasn't able to do that. And they cried when they got the pictures and the scrapbook. Both of them were standing there, tears running down their face, crying, happy with it. And it just, people say that, she lies and lies and lies and lies, and yes, she does. But, we don't know. Just because somebody lies does not mean that, they would hurt their daughter.
Right.
It doesn't. And I feel that early on, Candace and Dawn, people were just absolutely going after them and tearing them apart, shredding their stories apart, shredding them apart for the way they looked, for the way they lived, everything. So I feel that, like, a lot of the lies were to stop the badgering against her.
Right.
Kind of
Well,
like
what
a
a lot of people,
15,
I
kind of
think,
like a 15-year-old would do. Just basically the same thing a 15-year-old would do.
a lot of people in the beginning, when they saw the inside of that house and that house from that interview, the first one, when was CM the first one to get in that house, or was it somebody before that?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people didn't realize how country folk live that are in areas like that, because a lot of people from around the country and the world live in suburban or in town, or the country is like really nice ranches and houses and stuff like that. And that's kind of what I was trying to show, is that the Wells house isn't near as bad as a lot of
It's
houses
not.
in that
It's
area.
not.
It's actually pretty nice compared to.
And I've
And
I've been inside the house, and yeah, what people say, is true. A lot of it. But the thing is, it's there are people that live in way worse conditions.
Way worse. Yep.
I have gone to people's homes and walked in, and it's like you cannot breathe for the stench of pet urine.
Right. Well, there's a lot
And
of people that don't even have indoor plumbing
they
up in
don't.
there. They don't even have indoor plumbing. Yeah.
There's a lot of people that don't have plumbing. The city water just doesn't even run to their house because there's so much shale, limestone and stuff. They can't get the pipes to them.
Hmm. See, I got a lot of people saying there's no excuse for the house or whatever, but if you go and watch my videos, you're going to see a lot of inhabited houses that are way worse. Way worse.
I've cleaned a
It's
doctor's
just,
house that was way worse than that.
I mean, yeah, she probably could have done, organized or had less stuff or, you know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
organized better or cleaned better or whatever.
There
But
were toys there. There were toys there. There were toys every freaking where. I mean, they
well,
were
yeah,
all over the place.
there's 4 kids.
People said that Summer didn't have any toys though in the beginning. After that Chris MV or
Yeah,
the CM interview,
yeah,
people were saying,
yeah.
"Oh, poor Summer didn't have she had toys."
Well, what I noticed that not a lot of people noticed is that there's a lot of pictures of Summer and the boys all over the place. They took them kids all over the place and they took pictures of them all the time.
Yes.
And if you
I
look
don't
at Summer, when Summer's not playing in the dirt, obviously a kid's going to get dirty, right? Because she's like lives in the country and she's tomboyish or whatever because she's got 3 brothers,
that
right?
is the way that I grew up. I grew up filthy. A
But
couple of
if you
years
look at
ago,
but if
a
you look
friend
at a
of
lot
mine,
of the pictures, if you look at a lot of the
mhm,
pictures when she's not playing in the rain or the mud, she's
she's
dressed
clean.
she's dressed nice. She
Yes, and
is.
they believe in Sunday clothes. I do know that they because she did have clothes in one spot and everything that were nice clothes, and then she had their play clothes in
Mhm.
another basket, you know, and they had stuff hanging up. They had stuff folded up, and a lot of people don't realize that they came in there and they tore that house apart 7 times. At the
Yeah.
time, it's been done that I believe more than 7 times, but at the time that Chris Sim had went there, I think it was like 7 times, might have
Mhm.
been more, that they had come in there and just tore it apart.
Yeah, they did. They probably did drunk fight in front of the kids' show. That's probably one thing that they did that they shouldn't have done. I agree with that.
I agree.
If
They should not have done that in front of the kids.
I mean, but they had their issues, right? You got your drugs or you got your alcohol, and and they get the way they are. So, but yeah, other people are saying the kids looked happy and well taken care of. They had a lot of stuff. I mean, they had mini bikes and their little motorcycles, and they had them electric things, the jeeps, and there's
They
toys
had
everywhere.
more. They had more than I did when I was a kid growing up.
Yeah, there's a lot. And when it broke, it looks like they just threw it over the hill. That front
Hmm.
hill's got all kinds of, that's all toys from through the years. Yeah. They just whip it somewhere and buy something new. But there's a lot of stuff for them kids to play with. They had a lot of toys,
Oh yes, they
a lot
did.
of expensive stuff. Like that mini bike's what, $700 or $800. That
At
one mini
least.
bike. Yeah.
At least. Yeah, I mean, you look at a lot of these kids that their parents have been responsible for their demise and look at the way that they lived. And you can't compare a person's home. I mean, you can't look at a person's home and say, oh, they're guilty. Because look at Chris Watts. Look at,
Right.
look at, I mean, so many others. I can't think of any of them right now, but they had clean homes, clean lives,
They
no
lived in
murders.
upscale neighborhoods.
Yeah.
And they were ignorant as crap to their kids, right? So to me, I'd have fun as hell out there That'd be a fun place to grow up, I'll tell you. I grew up
Absolutely,
there.
especially with that
Yep,
creek.
yep, I grew up there. You should see all the cool stuff I got on Ben Hill Road. Just on Ben Hill Road. There's waterfalls. There's cool like things and the trinkets and stuff out by the mailboxes and the prairie. I got all kind of like really cool video at Ben Hill. I haven't put it up yet. There's all kinds of cool stuff on that road. And the creek is really super cool. The trails. Yep, there's all kinds of cool stuff. I'd have fun as
Yeah,
a kid out there.
a lot of fun.
Yeah. And they probably wrecked their stuff. Like those little electric cars, they can't take terrain like that. That's probably why they're broke. That's why they're
Probably
broke
where they're
down,
broken
man.
down where they're at.
Yeah, them things are made for like cement and sod in a city, you know. They're not made for like four-wheeling through the dang hills with. Yeah. No wonder they broke. But yeah, I look at the kids' point of view, you know, all the toys and stuff and how fun it would be to hang out around there.
Hmm. And in the beginning, I was told
When Evil Leonard
that
said there's a lot of RSOs in that area, you know what? I'll be willing to make a bet.
there's
I'll be
more
willing,
SOs that's not on the list than there are that's on the list. I
but I'll
promise you
make a
that.
bet. I'll make a bet though, per capita, or not capita, per area. For the area, if you go to an urban area where it's like blocks and blocks of city streets, right?
You'll find a lot more
There's
RSOs.
going to be way more RSOs in the same square miles than they have out there. So to me, there's not a lot compared to.
I,
That's what I go by.
I know in the beginning, I was told, and this came from a very, very reliable source, that Ronnie Lawson and all of them thought she wandered off and wandered into a bear.
Somebody said over 100. There isn't that many, is there?
Not in Beach Creek. Not
I'm gonna
in
have to.
that
I'm gonna have to go look. I'm
particular.
gonna have to look like within like say like a 10-mile radius from their house,
Yes,
like where the phone
yes.
service drops off. Do like a 10-mile radius, and then go like to Knoxville, Kingsport. You know what I mean? Go around to a few other towns and see in a 10-mile
You can
radius.
just type in on the website. You can just type in the street address
Hmm.
of a home that you want to check the neighborhood of. That's the reason they have that too. Is so if you want to move and
And it
you're like,
shows.
yeah, you can check your home before you move to see if there's a RSO next door. But at the same time, that's only what we see on the website. I have a feeling that there's more out there than what's actually on the list.
Somebody said there's 53 on the zip code. Okay, Sandy, go to another zip code like Kingsport or somewhere and run the zip code and see how many are there. Because I don't. I mean, if it seems like a lot, but if you go to other like into cities, there's a lot more. Maybe I'm wrong, but it'd
Yeah,
be interesting
I
to
think
look.
you're right because there's more
Yeah,
people per square.
square mile, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember what you were talking about when I interrupted you about that, but I was going to ask you about what do you think about past the cable, what I talked about earlier?
Was I here when you talked about that?
Probably not. It was only an hour live, and I went on. I didn't do Google Maps or Google Earth. I did Tennessee Property Search, and I showed how long Ben Hill Road is past the cable. It's longer behind the cable than in front of it,
Oh, back there at the end where that
where the
gate,
cable's
like,
across.
yeah.
Yeah, it goes a whole nother mile. The road does, and there's a whole boatload of properties up there, and there's at least 3 houses. Now the people at the end there said there's no power up there, but I see 3 telephone poles, so it runs a little ways. But I found one pretty nice house up there.
I've never been. The only place I've ever been in Beach Creek is to Dawn and Candace's.
Okay, because I'm wondering if people like, they have the keys, right? Because there's like 9 properties on Ben Hill, and then there's a whole bunch of landlocked properties that aren't on the edge of the road that are all up there,
When
because the whole
I,
mountain's
I can
private.
I can say that in the beginning when they said that they did not have permission to search some properties,
Hmm.
the problem with that was a lot of property owners live nowhere near
Near
Beach
there,
Creek,
correct.
and
They're
they
either
had
vacant
to,
or they got a cabin up there or whatever it is. Yep,
right, or they
yep.
just don't want to live in the boonies, and they move to the city, but they keep that property and they'll have it, when they retire they'll come back. That's the way
Mhm.
a lot of people do. And
Well, that's like
it
mine.
I don't think it was so much as people would not let them search.
They just couldn't get a hold of them.
They could not get a hold of them to get permission to search. And if they had have walked on that property and found evidence,
It would have been all messed up, right?
it would have been inadmissible in court because they did not have permission to go on that property.
Yeah, yeah. That's why I'm wondering what all they actually did search, because it's spotty, right? Because some people were there, some people weren't, so they couldn't get everywhere. Like I'm wondering about the cars right behind, right on the east side of the Wells house. If you go down the hill or run down the trail around by the mailbox there, around the back of the property, those cars on Simpson Road, there must be 50 of them. Were those all looked
They
at in
oh
the
they
trunk?
went all through that search. They searched all through that.
Did they go through there? Okay, because I was
Yeah.
wondering that.
Yeah, they went all through there.
Well, because you never know. She could have went down there, been playing around the cars, and locked herself in a damn trunk. You know what I mean? Of a
Mhm.
car. Yeah.
Just so there's so many possibilities. There really are.
Some
But
Liberty
this.
said LE can get warrants to search. They haven't had no warrants, have they? They haven't gotten one warrant for anything,
No,
have they?
yeah, they have for digital
Have they?
property. Yeah, they got search warrants for like digital property and other
Other than the
things.
wells, though? For other than the wells, have they had search warrants?
Uh,
Like properties they couldn't get onto, or persons of interest, or anything?
I'm not going to say.
You're not able to say? Okay.
I'm not able to say.
Because there ain't much. They don't tell you much, right? I'm just wondering. Yeah, I'm always curious of that.
I know that they found a few unregistered RSOs during their searches
Do you know anything about the
and doing
deal with
their
this backpack?
investigations
Do you know anything about a backpack being found?
in a pond or in water.
I don't know if it was in water or not,
It
but
was planted.
was it?
Yeah, it was for clicks and views.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Well, kind of like the laundry thing, right? They found the exact water bottle that was in the picture in the van way later. Some YouTuber did. And then there were socks and some other stuff. They scoured that area and sifted all the dirt and everything. They wouldn't have left none of that behind.
What they've searched, I mean, they've done good. And if you look up into the mountains there and stuff, like where all the trees are, you can see ribbons and stuff tied on them, and that was, their markers as we've been here, we've searched this.
Right.
And then they'd go another amount of distance. I don't know what the distance between ribbons on the trees are, but they would mark their spots, where they
But man,
searched. That way
I'm
they know that they searched
I'm
thoroughly.
telling you though, man, up there off Ben Hill, up on that whole mountain, man, it's so expansive, and there's thousands of acres up there.
There's no way they covered it all.
No,
There's
it's
not.
just there's so much there, and it's the terrain the way it is. It's just, yeah. A lot of people have said you could put 1,000 people in there shoulder to shoulder, and you still couldn't cover it.
No, it's been said that you can be at the bottom of the well's driveway and holler up, and the wells will not hear you. It has been said that a truck could be, running at the basement door, and you could not hear it inside the house.
I
Those
don't.
statements,
I don't agree with that.
I do. I've been there, and I know you can be
Do
in
you?
that house. Yes, you can be that house inside that house, and somebody can pull all the way up, get out of their vehicle, blow their horn actually, because, and I've said this on my lives, that Candace and I were sitting there at the kitchen table, and Don came in from work, and he's like, well, why didn't y'all come out here? And I was like, huh? I didn't. It scared me to death when he walked in, because I wasn't
Right.
expecting anybody, didn't hear nobody or nothing. He just came in out of nowhere, and I jumped, and he's like, why didn't y'all come out there? I was blowing the horn. And I was like, I didn't hear it. And Candace is like, I didn't hear it. You can't hear. You
What
cannot
about
hear.
when you're outside the house?
Outside the house,
Hmm.
you have to, where I was talking about right there, when you come up and you make that little right
Yeah.
to, and you go into that loop,
Yeah. Like
there's
before
like
you
a
come around the
little,
back. Before
yeah,
you come
there
around
is
the
like
back of the house.
right there where that Y starts at that loop at the
Yeah.
bottom, come,
Hmm.
right there at the little split, that there's an embankment there. And once you clear that embankment, you can hear. But if you're down below that embankment, you can't, and you're outside, you can't hear them. You see them before you hear them.
Right. When Evil entered, said, "Did I see any houses or properties with iron fencing with a fancy entrance?" Quite a few.
Now,
There's
it's weird though, because like on Beach Creek Road, you can hear everything going up and down Beach Creek Road.
yeah.
But coming up in that driveway, I don't know what it is, but I was sitting in my truck there one day, and I was telling her bye, and she just like cocked her head up. She was like, "Oh, and this was the day that I met the PIs. I only met them one time." She was
It's
like, "Oh, that's my."
probably it's
She's like, "Oh,
probably be,
that's my PIs."
it's probably because like the way that dirt is when you're coming up through that cut where the driveway is, when you're on the driveway,
Mhm.
it probably reflects the sound from the dirt and throws it back away from the house, like toward the back of Ben Hill. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
And so you can't,
possible.
yeah, you can't hear it from the house. That's probably what it
But I
is.
was sitting in my truck with my door open and one leg in, one leg out, and just talking to Candace, and I didn't hear a vehicle at all. All I heard her say was, "Oh, there's my PIs," and I just like looked over and I didn't see anything, and then I heard like a little bit of gravel, and then it was gone. And then the next thing I knew, they were coming up the back side, or the side of the house, from the back corner of the house to the front, towards the front door, along that side. They were just there.
Hmm.
And it was just like, wow. And they parked beside me and everything, where I couldn't pull out. So I had to get out of my truck. And
What do you
sometimes I
think?
wonder, sometimes I wonder about that day. I go back and I was thinking about it that actual day, did them PIs come up here and just like block me in to scope me out and see who I was and everything? Because everybody that inserts themselves is a suspect.
Right.
But I don't think it was anything like that or anything. But sometimes I do wonder. But I got out and I shook their hands and introduced myself and everything. And then I was like, "Do you care to back up a little bit?" And then I just kind of like squeezed out and got out from around them. And
What do you think about the whole thing with the chimney top loot video that Don made? Standing on its own, not where Cher clipped it with the other one, but standing on its own. Why? I mean, in the video, he says, because I think, he says, well, this is where she might have, somebody could have carried her up over
I think he was asked to make videos, and he did.
to go around and look and make videos of the area.
Yeah. I
That's what I think
just
too.
I don't read anything into that, because somebody put him up to doing that.
Right.
Now, and we all know that, he was asked to do that.
Yeah.
And so I go to that, if I just the way that it hits me, having sat there with Dawn and Candace and Grandma and talking to them and getting to know them and watching them, three adults passed a lie detector test. Three boys have not come out and said anything. There's no evidence anything happened on the
Right.
property or in
Right.
the vehicles or at the swimming hole or at
There's
any
no
of the
evidence of
places.
anything anywhere.
Right, right.
That's the hard part. Usually there's some evidence of something, right? And so they run with it
I
and they follow the trail, right? They get little breadcrumbs. This case don't have any breadcrumbs.
I don't feel that Dawn and Candace has the intelligence to
The
keep
mental
it hidden for
capacity,
this long.
I don't
Yes.
think so either. I don't think so. And especially getting on YouTube, going on panels lit. You know what I mean? There's no way. If their stuff would have come out, they would have slipped.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
that's what I
I
say.
don't know I don't know anything about the horses other than the some of the horses that were used during the search.
Hey, Dreamcatcher. When evil entered us. Yep, the one good one that you could see, I know, is on Chimney Top Loop. I know it's over that way, but that I know of, it's a huge ranch. It's on Chimney Top on the left hand side when I'm on the stretch headed out. And I think it's a horse ranch or some kind of. It's got a pond and everything. And I can't. I don't think I get the house in the pond because it's down over the hill. But you can see the entrance, the driveway entrance, and the pillars and stuff, but there's quite a few houses like that around, like high end houses that got the gates and the nice pillars and all that, you know?
About the timeline, Angela Pendleton says, "What about all the lies and inconsistencies in Candace's timeline? What has been a lie? What has been an inconsistency? We don't know what she told law enforcement. Law enforcement and detectives told her, and they begged and pleaded with Dawn and Candace and Grandma, do not tell anybody anything about the details of your timeline."
Hmm.
That's what I think about it. We don't know what they have told law enforcement, so therefore,
Well, because it could end up
and
being like a Scott Peterson type deal, like what we were talking about before.
yeah,
The
yeah,
news went on and told where he went fishing before she was found. And I'll be darned, it wasn't 4 days later she washed up on shore in that exact spot. Go figure, right? So that's why his stuff's all messed up because of that. So I can see where you're coming from. They're not supposed to talk about it.
right. I mean,
You
it's
know?
like you get the basic timeline from law enforcement, and then that's it. Anytime a child goes missing, they a lot of times they do not go second by second what the last guardian around the child was doing. They don't, tell that to the public on their own. They just give the details about the child, where they were last seen, if there were any suspicious circumstances to it, and that's it. And it's no different than the only thing different about this case and other missing child cases where they've not had any evidence is the parents have come out and talked, and
Don and Candace jumped on YouTube. That usually doesn't happen, right? Yep.
it's that definitely never happens, not especially that early on, you
No.
know
But yeah, I'm not one way or the other. You know what I mean? I don't know if she wandered off. I don't know if Don or Candace has something to do with it. I don't know if she got abducted. I don't know. I can't say one way or another because there's no evidence to anything. So whenever I'm like driving around and looking and searching and looking at stuff, and you know how I do, I think of every possible scenario. The bad part is when I was down there, I didn't try getting a hold of Candace, but I wanted anybody who was local that knew her to try to get a hold of her because I wanted to try to see. This is what I wanted to try. I wanted to see if I could park and sneak up there and carry something down and get in my car and leave without nobody seeing me.
It can be done. It has been done by creators.
Like
When it
without the
was,
neighbor on the corner seeing you, nobody.
there were some creators that went to Ben Hill. There were 5 adults on the property that were expecting these creators to come up there and protest. And they trespassed all over around the hillside, all over the edge there between Ben Hill and the house. They went all over that property. These creators did, and 5 adults sitting up there at the house waiting for them didn't hear them or see them.
Yeah, I know
They saw
exactly who
they
you're
saw it
talking
on they
about.
saw it on they saw it on live before on
Yeah,
YouTube. The
before they
replay.
even knew they were there.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So they proved a point when they came to town. They proved that you can get on that property and trespass and go all over it and swing like a monkey off a tree and not be detected.
Hmm.
Literally swing. One of them swung like a monkey off of a tree, sliding down the hill.
Look at you all are up in here. It's all like we're all full. We're up in the middle of the night talking about this. But I bet if I came on, popped on live, and drew flowers, nobody'd be here.
Ain't that crazy?
I know. You guys got to watch me draw too. Okay. Hopefully you watch my videos and you really like the way I see things. So I'm coming up with something new. Check this out, Squall. Tell me if you would watch it, right? So um people are into true crime, right? I'm into true crime, but I'm not a true crime creator, although we are talking about it tonight only because I put all these videos and I have all this footage and I got to get it all out so I can not stop thinking about Summer or leave her case, but so that I can, you know what I mean, do more. And I have all these hours of video from when I was down there, and it's already been a month. So I need to get it out, and then I wanted to come on tonight to, like, if anybody had questions about where I was or what I saw or anything like that or how I felt. But what I'm gonna do, and you guys in chat can tell me if you like this idea too. So I'm into true crime. You guys like true crime. Okay. There's a lot of people that like my voice. Like probably not now when I'm hyped up, but when I'm drawn. Or like how I talk in my videos, how it's really like calm and quiet. A lot of people can't hear me. So a lot of people like my voice. And a lot of people like art and like my drawings. I draw.
You draw.
I draw. I started like yesterday. Do you think I'm doing good? Check out my room.
You started drawing yesterday.
Yeah, no, that's been a while,
Oh.
you guys. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do, and tell me if you think it'd be cool, and everybody in chat, okay? So my idea is, and me and Heather came up with this, one of my mods. What happens if I narrate a true crime story? I read it, right?
While you're drawing.
And I record it, right? And I play me telling the story, and I draw a picture that comes into my head from the words from the story, exactly.
That would be excellent. I think that would be very, very interesting.
Because now the true crime people are seeing true crime, and the people who like my voice are hearing me tell a story, and the people who like art are seeing what I come up with, what I create from the words that I'm speaking, right? I think it would be pretty cool.
That would be
'Cause
pretty badass.
Yeah. And then I thought, well, if I try that a few times and it works, then maybe I could like move into doing kids stories too, because that would be really cool. I'd be like Bob Ross 2.0, right?
I remember the first time that I like saw you in your studio and everything. I was like, well, that's just a still shot picture that he put up, because I sat there forever waiting for you to move.
And all of a sudden I went like this, and you were like, whoa.
But it was
Well,
like
what's cool is,
the first live is like that I watched. It was like,
well,
you
like
know,
right now, look, I'm sitting at my desk and I put my pencil down on my paper and I'm drawing.
oh, that's so
See,
cool.
and
Yeah.
I'm drawing and I'm in my right. Everybody's like, "Why don't you show your face? Why don't you show?" Well, I don't sit behind a bouncing bubble. At least you see my art room. I'm here, and it's about my art, right? That's what my channel's about. It's about my art, and it's about how I film my experiences. That's kind of what I go with. I think it's pretty cool. So, what do you guys think about that? What do you guys think about that idea about me reading a book? Everybody's saying that's brilliant. That's awesome. Yeah, I think it'd be really cool, don't you? You know, and it'd be true crime stories, short stories, right? So they'd be fact, and it'd be a short story, and then I would be drawing something that I see from the story. So I think that would be really cool to do. So that's what I'm putting together, you guys. That's what I'm trying to do. So I know I haven't drawn but twice in a month or something like that, but these videos and editing them and uploading them is really hard for me.
Now that train there on the trestle, did you get that from like over in this area, or is that
Uh,
something?
Well, there's like between on my way back there, I seen like 7 or 8 of them. But
Because
there's one,
there's a lot of them around here like that's way up in the air, and
yeah. It's well, I drew it when I was there was the new stuff with the guy on the bridge with the Delphi case.
oh, okay, gotcha.
And it's actually a train trestle, and there's one actually that's not too far, maybe 45 minutes from me, maybe an hour, I don't know. Um, and it's got a deck on it with railings. And my question is, listen to this, you guys, because you guys know the Delphi case too. I know. Why doesn't that train trestle? They call it a Monon High Bridge, but it's really a trestle like this. So how come they haven't decked it and put railings on it to make it safe? And since it's not safe, how come they don't have it gated so that kids and people can't walk on it? That's my question. Because it seems really dangerous. Doesn't it to you?
Yeah, if kids are walking on it, it does.
Well, the 2 girls did.
Yeah.
And there's holes in it. Like you got to step over holes and you're like way hundreds of feet in the air. Hundreds. These things are huge. They're way up.
Now I know where I grew up, there was one, and Daddy used to tell me that they'd go up there, the boys would, and they'd have contests. Somebody would be actually like down at the bottom, or I don't know if they was or not. I wouldn't want to be on the bottom, but they would start peeing, and who's ever pee, they would try to like start peeing at the same time or something, and see if they could continue peeing once their pee hit the ground, and
Right.
the
Like
longest
the
stream
length
of
of time
pee.
it takes. The length of time it
Yeah,
takes for it to hit. Yeah.
yeah. Like, are they still peeing when their pee hits down below? Are they
I'm going to
still
turn my
peeing?
camera back off. I feel weird with my camera on facing the back of me when I'm not drawing.
But he said that they would chug 2 RC colas and go up there and just to pee.
That's pretty funny. But yeah, whenever I see the Delphi Bridge, I always think that, you know, it's on a like walk. They got a walking path on both sides, but yet, and they let you go across that trestle, but yet it's not. There's no railings. They haven't decked it. All they did was pull the tracks off it, and the railroad ties got holes in them and stuff. It's in need of repair, and I just don't understand how they're letting people walk out across that thing with it in the condition it's in. So I was going to go out to that one. I was going to, well, that's our crazy life, our train trestle is. Well, I can't say our, it's like an hour from me.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one was decked, and they have like a chain link thing with the railings and stuff, and they built 2 lookouts on it. It's really cool. So I was going to go film that and put this picture, and when I finish and then play the trestle that I went and visited and show how it's decked and how it's got the railings and how it's safe. I think that'd be really cool. And go underneath it and show how the abutments are and how they were built.
Now, the Delphi case, is that an active, like, do they actively have
Yeah,
things?
the neighbor, the guy that owns the property where the girls' bodies were found was questioned, and he wasn't a suspect. And now it's been however long, and they're going back and they're looking at video. There's a video of him walking, and everybody's comparing it.
I was talking about, like, that track. Is there, like, any traffic or trains or anything that goes across it on a normal?
No, just people.
Just people.
The tracks are gone. Yeah, they ripped the rails up, so it's just the railroad ties.
Yeah, it's probably why they ain't done nothing with it to fix it up.
But it's
They
on
might
public.
possibly, do it now as a memorial.
They got a car park. There's a car park at the far end of it where you can park to walk on these walking paths. So I don't understand why it's still the way it is and people walk across it. It doesn't seem like they would let them do it, but they might be restoring it now. I don't know, but I would have had it fenced where you can't walk across it.
I think it would make a good memorial bridge.
Yeah, it would. If you put like a lookout on it with a bench with their names on,
Mm-hmm.
that'd be really cool. Yeah. They should rename it for them.
I think so. That would be awesome.
Yeah. The
putting it
toaster
our
oven,
way.
the trestle bridge is in Delphi. What's the state?
Indiana?
Indiana,
And
yeah. It's called the High Monan Bridge. And it's actually a train trestle, so I don't know why they call it a bridge, but yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Paint it up like their favorite colors, put a deck on it, put railings on it, put a lookout on it with benches with their names and all that. That'd be kind of cool. Yeah. But anyway, the guy, I don't know if you were asking about that or not, but the guy that owned the property where the girls' bodies were found has now died. And now
Right.
they think he's the prime suspect and they're trying to prove it was him, is kind of what's happening now.
They've had a lot of time to do that while he was alive,
Yeah.
I think. What happened to the Klein boy?
I don't know that one.
Was his name Klein that they had the fake Instagram account?
Oh, yeah, it might have been.
Because the property owner, wasn't he Logan? Logan?
For the Delphi one or the
Yeah.
Klein one? Yeah, I think Logan, yeah.
Logan was the one that died.
Yeah.
And the property owner. And then
Yeah.
Klein was the one that had the fake profiles that he was a rather homely looking feller. And he had this kid on fake social media profiles.
Oh, they were talking back and forth, right? Yeah. I know the
Yeah.
one you're talking about. Yeah.
Tony and Keegan Klein. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should have known that. I got lost for a minute, but yeah, I know who you're talking about now. But yeah, I think another thing that would be cool is to go out where Gabby was, because we know everywhere they went, right? And what dates they were there. I think it would be cool for somebody to go and shoot the whole thing in real time the way she did it.
I think so.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff. I was thinking about going to Colorado for what's his name? What's his name's wife, where they think they know where she is, but there's too much snow still. You know what I'm talking about? Morphew. Barry Morphew.
Now, did a mistrial without prejudice on that one.
Right, right. So if they find her and they think it's him, he's hit. Yep. They didn't have enough evidence. They didn't want to put it to trial yet because they didn't want to screw it up. I think that's what happened. So they threw it out for
Right.
now. Yep, and they're gonna wait. Yep, Suzanne Morphew. I was thinking about going out there.
What really bothers me about that is she had a lover that was how many states, how many miles away? And I know that they cleared him, but that was an awfully long distance.
Is that the one with the DNA on the glove box?
I didn't know about the DNA on the glove box.
Yeah, there was DNA on her glove box of her car that matched some guy, and he happened to be a RSO or something, and I think she gave him a ride or something.
Wow.
I think that's the one. And you guys in chat, tell me if I'm wrong. I think that's the one. I follow a lot of different cases, so I get confused because my
Yeah,
brain,
it's
I'm
that's
not
the
very
reason.
smart, so I make a lot of mistakes on what I
It
say.
is
But
it is hard to jump from one case and go back and forth and everything, and it's I thought about covering other cases myself, like locally, the people that are missing,
well, there
including
was
the
one,
fugitives that are missing,
there was one
you
kind of
know.
local to me. There was a girl that was kind of not local, but kind of local. There's two actually. One is the girl, and she had one of those walking apps on her Apple Watch or something,
Yes.
and they solved it because she was wearing that watch. And it was a guy on a motorcycle that stalked her and drove the motorcycle into the walking trail into the woods, strangled her, and left her. Yep, and her thing, the GPS on her thing, found her, and they got the whole track of where she went and everything. And then have you heard of Crumbly, Ethan Crumbly, the teenager that went into his school and started shooting everybody?
Yes.
That's in Oxford. That's like a half hour from me.
Wow.
Yeah, so I was thinking about going there, but see, there really ain't no reason to go there because he never went nowhere. They were
So
kind of new to that. They were kind of new. Yep, Jake for Justice did cover him, both of them. Um, but he never went nowhere. So all you got's the house and the school. That's not, you know what I mean? I'd rather. There's not much to show. So, but the girl in Avoca would be cool. I think it was Avoca, Armada, some A name city. That would have been a cool one to do.
I think when evil enters says they are waiting on snow to melt on a certain mountain to look for Susan Morphew's body.
Yeah. And then what's the other one they've never found that they think they dumped down a mine and the Diesel brothers went down in the whole mine looking for her and they couldn't find her. Where the guy said he took his boys out camping, but it was cold. Megan, you guys in chat will know. Megan, somebody. But I feel bad for Ethan Crumley, the guy that went and he shot, I don't know how many people he shot, but he killed 4. Her name is Susan also? Okay. They got that kid in an adult jail in solitary. And I don't think he
Wow.
belongs there. I think he belongs in I think in
Is
Ypsilanti or Lansing.
he's the one that had the parents that congratulated him, or
No, his mom texted him and told him not to do it.
he's okay?
And he was underage, and they had bought him the gun. It was a pistol, and he was drawing crazy pictures in school and got caught and sent to the counselor's office before he even did it. And the parents sent him
Okay.
back to school, and he shouldn't have went back to school. And he pulled the gun and he did that. But yeah, he needs a lot of mental and psychological work, and I don't think him sitting in county jail is the place he needs to be. Michigan has a state hospital, like a mental forensics hospital. It's kind of like a prison, with like all the steel locking doors and pods and all that stuff like that. But they do in-depth psychological stuff, and I think that's where he should be, in my opinion. And they've been having like a court date for him once a month to see if he should stay there or go somewhere else. And so far, he's just staying there. But I think that's doing a lot more damage to
You know,
him.
I follow a lot of news stations, like local news stations, but not local to me, but like in other states, you know, just random news places, because that's where you hear about a lot of crime and a lot of murders, unsolved murders. They don't make headlines like Summer Wells has. They don't make headlines like Suzanne Morphew. You know,
No.
they happen. And I like, you know, whenever I see somebody share something and it's a news station or a police station or sheriff's department, I follow it just to be nosy, see what kind of crime and see if they've got any unsolved or anything like that.
Well, what kind of
You know,
disappoints me about all of us creators and, social media and everybody that can actually do some good is they only swarm on the cases that either have conspiracies or drama. If it's just a normal missing kid, then it doesn't get coverage. Not the news, not YouTube, not social media, nothing.
I guarantee if you dig into those quiet, those hush hushed ones that's not made it to YouTube and everything, if a person really got to digging and stuff and talking to neighbors around them, there'd be conspiracy theories there. There would
Probably,
be. There would be.
probably. But you know what I mean. Like where
Yeah.
the kid goes missing and the parents are pleading, on TV, we love our kid, please bring him home. I hope he's safe, all this stuff. And it's just straightforward like that. It doesn't get the coverage that a case like this does, or like Morphew, or like, you know what I mean? And there's a lot more cases that need a lot of work and a lot of coverage. And like Summer has like hundreds of YouTubers just going on all day, every day for hours. I wish some of them would. I'm not saying let up on Summer's case, but I'm saying at least at the beginning of your show, cover some other, unknown case. You know what I'm saying? Like every time you go
Right.
live, like mention another missing kid, where they are, what the circumstance. Yeah, because a lot of other kids need coverage too.
Chasing Truth does a really good job.
Yeah, I think I'm not for sure, but I think she bought one of my drawings. I
I
think
think I saw that drawing in her office where she was doing a live from. I was looking at it and I was like, I wonder if that's one of Scotty Skulls's.
I'm gonna have to go look now if she hung it up. She hung it up. Yeah.
I think she had it on a desk behind her, is where I saw it, if I'm not mistaken. Like whenever she's in her office,
Uh-huh.
I want to say that's where I saw it.
I think she got Ben Hill. I think she got the house when I drew the house.
I can't remember which one I saw, but I remember seeing a drawing, a sketch drawing, you know, like the way you do yours.
Hmm.
And it just, I saw it and I was all up on my TV looking. I was like, I think she bought that from him. I was thinking she had.
Does Vet Girl talk to her?
I have no
You know,
idea.
I think it's her because I'm looking for somebody to come on for. I want to do a memorial or Memorial Day. I want to draw a flag with an eagle in it, and I want somebody to come on and be on panel to talk to chat and to talk all about what Memorial Day stands for, what it means, the history behind it, all that. Because a lot of people don't know. A lot of people just break out their barbecues and hot dogs and have family over. You know what I mean?
Right.
And there's a really deep story behind it all. And so I want to draw a picture and have somebody on that knows all about that. And while I'm drawing it, I think that'd be really cool. And it's coming right up, I think. Next week, is it? 2 weeks?
It's coming up into the last weekend in May.
Yeah, it's coming right up.
I think like maybe a community post and ask the viewers what cases they want to be covered. And then like don't react or anything to their comments in that community post until you cover it, and like then love it and say, you know, all right, let's go love everybody that says this particular case, and we'll cover that today, you know, and
Mm-hmm.
that brings your viewers into, they're more involved with your thing, you know, and you could just like collaborate with them and say, you know, all right, send me links on this, let's get it going. It's
Well,
like
that's like
something.
what I do. That's like what I do on my tutorials. I don't know if you watched any of those. Nobody watches those, but I'll have somebody on panel and I'll teach them. I'll draw and they draw what I draw, and I teach them how to do it. And it's whatever they want, so the people pick. So it's pretty cool.
That is neat.
Yeah, I've done that too, quite a few of them. I've done Draw Killer. I drew Chris Watts. I drew Scott Peterson. I drew Brian Laundrie. I drew Lizzie Borden. Who else have I drawn? Yeah, I've drawn quite a few.
I've got one on my community wall that I want to go over, that I want to discuss. You know, one of the things that often crosses my mind, you can look it up. I can't remember his name right off the top of my head, but he was like a, a fugitive from justice, and he had embezzled all this money and then went on the run. And I think he lived like 16 years in the Appalachian Mountains without being found. There's like several fugitives that they have found in these Appalachian Mountains.
Have you ever seen the true? Listen to this, you guys. This isn't a bad thing. This is a good thing. So, have you ever seen the movie? It's a true story. I forget the name of the movie. Maybe somebody in chat knows. It's where the girls that were pregnant would give up their babies because they couldn't take care of them or whatever. You know what I mean? And they would. There was this like nursery orphanage type thing. And what would happen is I think they were like selling these babies off illegally or whatever. And so a guy that worked at this place, his job was to go and solicit the pregnant moms to try to get them
Hannah.
to, is that it, Hannah? And he stole her out of there to get her out, the baby, and him and the mom and Hannah, and the mom ended up getting shot
Yep,
and
and
killed and they blamed it on him. And he kept this girl in the woods for 16 years, right? She was a teenager, and then she
yes,
started getting curious, and then she met a boy that was chopping wood, and then they were on the satellite dish or whatever, and then the police and all that. I don't remember how it ends, but she met him, right? She had
they've
to
got a
run to some,
sequel. They got a sequel out to that now.
do they? But
Yeah,
that
there's
just
like a
goes to
part.
show you that people can hide you in the hills for a lot of years, and it's not always for bad. Sometimes it's for good. So I always think about that movie too. Yeah, I forgot the name of it, but that's a really cool.
Hannah. Hannah.
And is it a movie or is that like the Netflix series, Hannah? I think it's just a movie, right?
I'm looking at it. Let me see here.
Because there's something on Netflix called Hannah. I think that's it has all these different episodes, but I don't think that's it. But yeah, that's a true story. And he raised her in the mountains, in the hills, with nothing.
They were like training these kids, I think, to be some type of like, you know, super soldiers.
Oh yeah, that's not it.
That's not it.
No, I know the Hannah you're talking about. Nope, that's not it. This is where the guy
Okay.
stole her. Yep, he took her out in the woods and he kept her for 16 years. He tied her up in chains and handcuffs. I don't think that's the same movie, Innocent. He wasn't mean to this girl. He read her storied books and stuff. He taught her how to read. He taught her how to fight. Um, and then when the police got all involved and they were like hunting for him again because they wanted to get this guy and kill him, they met in some city.
That was Hannah.
Was it?
Yeah, that was Hannah. The super soldier part, I don't think really comes out till the second sequel.
Okay,
That's
so
when they
I'm thinking of the
really,
original. I'm thinking of the original movie
yeah,
before that Netflix series.
Hanna.
Yeah, she knew how to fight. She was
Yeah,
badass.
because I
Yep.
was just sitting here and I was like, remembering you said because she met the guy that was like cutting trees on a four-wheeler and all that, and he gave her a candy bar.
Yep. A Snickers or
And
whatever.
yeah,
Yep.
and that was Hannah.
That's a true story though, right? That happened.
I don't know that if it's a true story because the Hannah 2, I don't know if it's called Hannah the second one, but it kind of picks up where it leaves off in a way, and I think it starts off with her in a home for children, and they're like they mess with their DNA is what they do.
Oh, that's where she goes back and breaks them out, right? Blows them
Yes.
all on buses. Yep, I know what you're talking about. See, now that original one with him keeping her out in the woods, I didn't know it was part of that, but I might be all messed up. It might be, but yeah, that's pretty wild.
But that's the way that, like, what wasn't it, Elizabeth Smart and J.C. Duggar both? I mean, they were kept like for years like that, and these mountains around here. I mean, there's folks that live up in them. I
Well,
guarantee
that's
it.
what I'm wondering. Yeah, I know that house I found today. I showed. It's a nice house and it's active. There's vehicles. So it's like, how often do they go down Ben Hill and undo that cable and drive through it and lock it back up? It makes me wonder. But yeah,
Probably daily. I would
there's
imagine they
people,
probably do it daily,
there's people,
especially if they work.
yeah, there's people up there. I can tell you that.
There's horse trails all over Beach Creek too, through the mountains.
Is there?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Well, I hope we accomplish something. I know you have a lot more knowledge than a lot of people do.
I can like message you about it and stuff if there's anything you want to know, any questions, just holler and
Well, you know me. I don't play the blame game. I don't play the telephone game. You know what that is,
right.
right?
Yeah.
Everything's hearsay, right? There's no fact behind any of it. I don't care how credible the person is. If they heard it from somewhere else or said, "Oh, well, this person said that," it's still hearsay to me. So I don't really count
And
that.
some people make stuff up just to get their clicks and the views and
Yeah. And I mean, you've watched my videos. I'm all about not, I'm just like about showing and looking and thinking of every
right.
way. Yeah.
And
So,
I had like a little gaming YouTube before Summer went missing. And it was basically, just for family and our gaming buddies, and I had a few people that had subscribed to me that I didn't know who they were,
mhm.
just strangers and everything. But I had to lock that down whenever I came out and talked because I don't want family members being attacked, and these some of these creators and some of these subs out here are dangerous.
Yeah.
They take it to a dangerous level.
There's my epic fail right there, you guys. Can you see that?
How's that a fail?
I don't know, because she looks older. I guess she might look like that now.
It's very possible age progression. Whenever I looked at it, I thought of one of her brothers before I thought of her.
Did ya? Yeah,
So you know what it?
I drew that on her birthday, February 6th, right? Yep. Yeah, I drew that.
Oh, McBro, you're awesome. Awesome, McBro.
Yeah, the viewers are they do some stuff. They dig and find stuff, don't they?
Yes. Now that
And
I
some
mean,
of them are really good at it.
some of the subs now they go above and beyond. They really do. They've got hearts and they've got souls. I've had subs message me. And then strangers message me, but it was like one sub that was like all chatty with me and everything. It was online on in live chat was always like real nice and everything, and then all of a sudden, just out of the blue, I get an email about they know more than I do, and the FBI believes everything that comes out of their mouth. And I was going to be like arrested or something, detained, and they were going to rip my walls off of my house. And I'm sitting here like, where did this come from? Like, just all this craziness. Like, have you gotten anything like that yet?
Mm-mm.
I won't say yet, but yeah, I'll have to. Some of the stuff I've gotten emailed to me is just outlandish.
Yeah, well, yeah. I've had a couple people email me stuff that just goes deeper and deeper and deeper, and they're seeing stuff that's not there, and it just gets worse and worse. And look at this and look at this. Do you see this? And it's like I don't. People. It starts. People It starts driving them mad.
Yes,
And they hyperanalyze and then hyperanalyze that and then hyperanalyze that, and it starts
and then
driving
they
them
get
mad.
mad at you when you don't see it.
Yeah, but it screws with your mind. You got to take a break and you got to do other things. And like when I was coming on drawing, I'd say, come and watch me draw. It'll get you away from all of it for a little while. Give your brain a break. Because a lot of us eat, sleep, and breathe this.
I'm game to get away. That's
Yeah.
what I do.
So hopefully when I can figure out how to narrate and record and do that with them short stories, that ought to be pretty neat.
You could probably, I don't know, like do like just straight from your desktop, do the voice recorder from your menu. And I don't know if that would like play over and then play while you're.
Yeah. Yeah, if I recorded it and then played it and shared that window from my desktop, and then yeah, and then had my other camera, so I have it just the way it is now. And how I had music playing when you first came on, and then except for have me narrating, and then the one picture would be the one picture would be this, and the other picture would be this.
Mm,
Isn't that weird how when I put that up, people think, oh, it's like shared from my screen, but it's not. It's sitting in front
yeah.
of me, you guys. Yeah, it's sitting in front of me. This is the real drawing. And if anybody's ever noticed, I want to let everybody know this too, just so everybody understands. I have never used Summer's image in any of my thumbnails. And I've never used her in any of my videos except for one when I read that poem that I wrote. I
Wow.
wrote a poem. And then the only thing I've done in the Quest, that docu-series, I guess you want to call it, all my video when I was there, is I've showed the missing posters. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. In the very beginning, before I came out and switched from gaming to talking about summer, I was
Uh-huh.
actually being accused of being Don Wells.
Oh, I was Andrew. I was
Was
Andrew
you
Hill
Andrew?
for a while. Yeah. And then I was Green Eyes, I guess, for a little while. I don't even have green eyes, but I guess I don't know. I guess it's because my bird. This here, but that's my drawing. I drew that.
Green Eyes has one like that, but his has a green eye in it.
I don't know how to change it now. Where do I go to change that to a different one of my drawings? Is it on YouTube or is it on StreamYard? Because my YouTube picture is different. So I don't know where that came from. I don't know how to change that. It's
I think you
whenever I
would go to YouTube Studio, I think.
is it okay? Because whenever I go on somebody's panel, it shows that. But if you look at my
Or no,
YouTube,
you go to your Google account. Go to your Google account.
my Google picture isn't that though. It's another one of my drawings. It's the castle with the yeah. So I don't know if it's on here because when I go on StreamYard, grab the link, I don't know how to do it
I don't think it's on StreamYard. I think it's on your profile. McBro said on the profile.
on my profile.
I can't remember.
Because if you guys go to my profile pic on my page, it's not that. It's the castle and the light bulb with the girl with the shit with the boat. RJ said it's on StreamYard. I don't even know where I'd go to find it. Oh yeah, no, I got the heart eyes emoji that I drew. That's my picture up right at the top of my screen right here on the StreamYard. It's a different drawing, so I don't know how to change the bird. Yeah, I've been a few things. I guess I got accused of driving back and forth and I got accused of being in cahoots with another creator, and I'm part of the whatever that is, QAnon and all this stuff. I don't even know.
Oh wow.
I'm just some dude who draws that lives in Michigan who drove down there to see what I could see and look and try to search for her.
Anyone who goes to Beach Creek gets accused of that.
Is that what it is?
Everyone who has been to Beach Creek has been accused of it, and a lot of others that they haven't even been to Beach Creek have been accused of that. And I don't even talk to cracking cases. I've messaged with them a few times and everything, but it was like I hadn't even talked to them whenever they came on my panel last week. It was like the first time I talked to them since I want to say November, December.
Right.
And it was like, it was always just random stuff that had nothing really to do with YouTube, nothing at all to do with YouTube. It was just, have you heard from Candace? Is she okay or something like that? And then,
Mm-hmm.
And then we haven't talked, and it is like we're thrown into this big old conspiracy theory together again.
Well, like this what's happening on my channel wasn't even supposed to happen. Because you know how they accuse of everybody of getting content and stealing other people's stuff, and it's all for clicks and views and all this kind of stuff, right? I didn't even want none of my video to be on my channel. I didn't even want to go live on my channel when I was down there. I was trying to hook up with like a bigger channel platform. By bigger, I mean like 50, 60,000 bigger. And they can they can put the stuff on their channel because I'm about my art, right? It's just summer stole my heart, and I felt the need. I had to drive down there, so I was up all night one night, and I just threw some stuff in the truck and went. It had been sitting out in the back 40 for 2 years, and I pumped the tire up, threw my stuff in it, gassed it up, and went. In the middle of the night, I just took off and drove all night, and I thought I was going to sleep in my truck. I didn't know where I was going to stay. I didn't know how long I could go. I didn't have much money, and then people helped. And I was able to stay down there for 6 days. And luckily that dang truck made it home. But then all this video I have, I didn't intend for it to be up. I didn't want to make a playlist and put it up on my channel. Like, I just want to be clear about that so everybody understands. But I have to put it out there. You know what I mean? It needs to be seen.
Right.
I took all the time to do it. I drove halfway across the country. So
I mean, you did excellent with your videos. I thought you
yeah,
did a great job.
I think I messed up a lot, and my phone's broke, and I figured out why my sound keeps going bad in my videos. It's because there's something wrong with the mic on my phone. The screen's cracked, and but yeah, I mean, so that's what I wanted when I originally went, but it didn't work out that way. So I hope that when I get done putting all this up and I go back to drawing, that everybody doesn't just go, "Oh, well, he's just drawing," you know what I mean, and leave. Because I'm about my art. That's what I want to promote, you know.
Right.
So
Do that. You could do, true crime with your. I mean, I thought you had an excellent idea.
with the stories and drawing, yeah, I think that would
Yes.
work pretty cool. Yeah, because I wouldn't even know what I was going to come up with. You know what I mean? It would just be me drawing while the story's going. So that would be kind of cool.
Alicia, it's Beach Creek Road, Ben Hill Road, and Simpson Road.
What was the question?
She says, "May I ask what streets border the whole Wells property? Beach Creek Road, Ben Hill Road, and Simpson Road?"
Yeah, yep. Simpson Road is a little short road off of Ben Hill, but yeah, the corner where the wells is, it's Beach Creek and Ben Hill, and it's in between. Ben Hill Road is in between Fields Road and Light Hollow Road, right? And then you got Simpson Loop across the street. You ever been up to that cemetery
No,
right across the street?
no,
It's pretty cool.
I don't like cemeteries.
I went to a whole bunch. I got all on video. I gotta put them all up as extras too. I got all kind of cemeteries. Barrows, Barrows Cemetery on in Churchill when you're headed toward Laurel Run. You know when you go the other way from Solomon's Temple and you're headed towards Bayes Mountain. There's a there's a church with a cemetery there that's pretty cool. And then Bowser, I think it's Bowser. That's what it is, Bowser Cemetery.
I went to
I
I've gone
think
to like
I
some
think they're
old
cool.
cemeteries before, and like way up in the mountains on old properties,
Uh huh.
and it's like they're all covered with vines and stuff and rip them off. And I used to do that when I was younger, but I don't like cemeteries anymore.
Yeah, McBro said the Bernards have a family cemeteries. I'll bet you there's a lot of family cemeteries out there too. But it's weird because when you go to these little cemeteries that I found, it's all like predominantly like one or two families, the whole place. So it's interesting because they've been, people don't realize that these families that own these, like the hill, Ben Hill was a hill, right? His name was Ben, and they probably owned
Right.
that whole holler at one point, like back in the 1800s. Yeah. And so these families have been around for, 100 years, 150 years. So when you go to the cemetery that's right near there, it's the whole family from decades is there. No, Mount Carmel Church is down the road a little ways. There's one right across the street, right at the beginning of Simpson Loop. No, is it? What's the road right across from Ben Hill? Um,
Oh, I can't think. It's late.
it's yeah, it's right across the street. But anyway, whatever that road is, there's a little tiny cemetery in there. It's pretty cool.
My brain's getting tired, and I think I'm going to jump off here and go to bed.
Yeah, me too. I didn't plan on being on this long, but it was cool to talk. I like to come on and chit chat every once in a while.
If you ever decide to come back down and everything, I could give you like a list of places to check out.
Okay. Yeah, 'cause I wrecked a pair of hiking boots while I was there. I was in the woods. I got down in it for real. So it's really interesting. I got a lot of places I want to go. I want to go up to that fire tower, the old fire tower. I think that'd be
Um,
pretty cool. Somebody
just
says there's
going to Bays Mountain. It's pretty cool. They've got like wolves in there and
I went to
stuff. And
Laurel
just
Park, but we didn't have time to go. I was going to walk up to the waterfall It was a 20-minute walk each way, so that would have been like an hour or more. But we didn't have the time that day with the person that was driving me, so I didn't get up there. But that'd be kind of cool to go up there too. Yeah,
But
yeah, it's an
yeah,
awesome area. A lot of pretty stuff.
there's some awesome waterfalls in Hawkins County too. I mean, absolutely gorgeous waterfalls over there.
In the spring, probably especially, right? With the runoff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and there's caves you can go to. There's like the Bristol Taverns.
The property that I have that's been in the family for probably 50 years is over in the Watauga Lake area. You know where that is?
Yes, that's like Elizabethton, Hampton area,
Yeah. Yeah,
Carter
you're right
County,
on it.
Carter County.
320, 321. You know what road I'm talking about?
I know exactly what road you're talking about.
It's exactly like 347. You
Hmm.
couldn't tell the difference. If you planted somebody on 321, they'd think they were on 347. It looks identical. Yeah. Yeah. That's the area I know really well. Really well. Right there.
It's the same over there, like the drug and everything in Carter County. It's
Mm-hmm.
the same as it is in Hawkins County.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's the same. Every county here is, pretty much the same. Now, Sullivan County, in Washington County, they've got bigger cities. They got like Kingsport, Bristol, Johnson City. Greenville's bigger than Rogersville, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And then some of these counties, like if you was to go into Unicoi County,
Mm-hmm.
Lord, it's pathetic.
Well, what I showed earlier too that interests me, I want to ask you about real quick before we end this is when you go up to the end of Ben Hill Road, over the cable, all the way the next mile up, and you get to the spine of that mountain, you're standing in three counties.
Hmm.
They all converge on one point. You've got Hawkins County, Sullivan County, and Washington. And if you go east for a little tiny little ways, now you're in Greene County.
Yep.
So there's four counties that meet on Chimney Top Mountain. Four of them. So my
You'd
question
think that
is,
they'd have some kind of lookout or something. Because they've got one at the Pinnacle. The Pinnacle is, you can see, I think, 3 to 4 different states.
mhm,
I think it's 3 states: Virginia, Kentucky, and
you'd think
Tennessee.
where them three meet, they would have a really tall tower that has 360 view. You'd think. And my other question is Hawkins County's involved? Hawkins County and the sheriff. But has anything happened with Greene County or Washington County or Sullivan County?
Now, I know that they all volunteered with Hawkins County to do searches in Hawkins County. I'm sure that they expanded outward.
And done
Um,
some in their own counties? Because I haven't heard of that
yeah.
either. It'd be interesting to
Uh,
know if they've,
I do know that there have been searches in other locations that's not in Hawkins County, but I can't say where they've been done at.
right.
But
Yeah, I always wondered that because it's four counties right there, right? So you just go across county line, and now Hawkins County's looking, but the other one ain't. So I always
well,
wondered
you
that
got 3 states really. You got Virginia, Kentucky, and Tennessee
that are real close. Yeah.
that are super close. You can go up through Segornsville and Sneedville and come out in Virginia. In
Yeah, I'm even
Stanford,
closer
Kentucky, you can just go up through, I think, Persia and around that way to get
over
in
where
on
I'm at.
the
There's
Kentucky side.
Virginia. Over where I'm at, there's Virginia, South Carolina.
I might be mistaken because it's been so long. I used to just get in the vehicle and roll the windows down, turn the radio up, and back in the day, I'd light a joint and just drive
Isn't there a
and drive.
song? Isn't that a song, a country song? All I want to do is roll my windows down and cruise. Yeah, it's called
Yeah,
Cruise.
yeah.
Talking about tractors and not going in traffic jams and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, just take them back roads and see where you end up. And
I can't sing, you guys. I can like search and find cool stuff and draw, but I can't sing worth a shit. Just to let y'all know. All right.
yeah,
Well, this was a good talk.
it was. It
Hmm.
was.
Yeah.
Also,
Interesting.
they're also 15 minutes away from the interstate in two different directions. If you go right out of their driveway, you can be at the interstate in about 15 minutes. If you go left, you can be at another spot on the interstate in 15 minutes.
You're talking about 81.
Yes.
Yeah. If you
The
go,
the
yeah. If you go
Belton
like, if you
the
rip up,
Belton exit where all the truck stops are,
yeah.
and then Fall Branch, I think it's actually called like Geraldstown.
So Van Hill, if you cruise left and go and then rip around on Van Hill, you get over to it. And then if you go the other way around Solomon's Temple and hit Old Blair's
Old
Gap to
Blair's
Gum
Gap.
Springs,
Yep.
and then turn left on Horton Highway, you rip over there and you hit it. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. Isn't that weird? I'm not, everybody says, oh, you're not local. I know every road. I don't got to go on maps. I can tell
I
you,
have to sit here and look at the back of my eyelids, like way up high, like, okay, let's see, where was that? What's the name of that? What's the name of that? I've forgotten more than I've learned in all my
man,
life.
I looked at them maps and streets and all that for so long, months before I even went down there. And
And
there's so many spots I didn't get to go.
a lot of these roads around here where I know the road, but I don't know the name of it, and I've driven on it 500,000 times, but I don't know what the name of it is. I just know where it takes me.
Well, yeah, that's where you guys say, well, you go down about the dog's age and you pass the tree with the weird branch and then you get to the red barn and you turn left.
Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
I know
That's
how
it.
it goes. I know how it goes.
So
And then
it's
you
like
go
when
up
people
there.
asking me like names of stuff, I'm just sitting here like, okay,
Yeah, and then
yeah,
you turn left and you go up there a song or two and it'll be on your right. There'll be an old wagon wheel. Yeah, you don't know addresses, you don't know streets, you don't know time. You just,
you definitely don't know time,
yeah, yeah, I know exactly how it goes.
and that's the way that Candace lived. She didn't go by the clock.
It's the sun. You kind of know what time of
Yeah,
day it is. You know when to cook dinner because of where the sun's at.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it was good to be up here. Thanks for having me up,
Yeah,
and good
cool.
night, everybody.
Thanks for coming.
Absolutely. I forgot how to get out of here.
I can kick you out.
Remove from stream. I found it.
All
Good
right.
night.
All right. Talk to you later. All right, you guys. What do you think? Was that informative? Did we learn anything? I always like it when everybody learns something new, whether it's like where something is or how things work or any of that kind of stuff. I think I showed some stuff today. I kind of showed you guys like the roads up there, that there's houses up there and all that. Squall, she knows quite a bit. She's pretty informative. She answered a lot of my questions. My email. Oh, there you go. Shell's got it. Thank you, Shell. You're on top of it. Charlotte's gonna email me about going to the vigil. Okay. I don't know if I have the money. I can probably make the time. But I don't know if that truck will make it again. I hope if I go, it does. But yeah, it's about money for me, you guys, this time. It was last time too, but the only thing different about this time than last time would be that I have local people that I guess you could call friends now that are willing to let me stay, so I don't have to like sleep in my truck or find a room. You live in Ohio, Charlotte, Ann? Well, if I go, maybe if I pick people up along the way, maybe that would work, right? And then when I break down, we can all be broke down together. I won't be by myself. I have to probably put a muffler on that thing though, because it's loud. You can't even hear yourself in it. But it's fun to take. The reason I took it is because in case I had to go trail riding, if I got up into a mountain, I don't have to worry about like, you know, tree branch scratches or, you know, tipping it over or bumping into a tree or anything like that. The 4-wheel drive works good, so that's one thing I can say that works. We could take your car from there. All right, well, email me. I got to figure out money, so yeah, I guess if I rode with somebody, went part way and then rode somebody. Yeah, that would be cool. So anybody that lives between Detroit and Ben Hill, yeah, that would be a cool way to do it, right? Or we could just, oh, you got a Patriot? All right, yeah, that works. You're not scared of scratching it, are you? I might take you in some spots you don't know if you can get out of. I'm good off road though. I build like I build junk trucks and rally race them off road. I've taken like a 99 Dodge Neon and put side by side tires on it and took it to an off road park and really got into some stuff. So ask my subscribers to donate to my PayPal. I don't like doing that. I don't like putting my hand out for anything, Shell, but if you guys do it or put it together, last time Shell's got it, probably my PayPal. It's in my description too, Mandy. But yeah, even if I had enough money to get down to where like Charlotte is or somebody else, that'd be kind of cool. You're no good off road. Oh, you said no, you're good off road. Okay. Well, it's pretty gnarly there. It's not like off road in Ohio. I can tell you that. It's gnarly. You gotta know what you're doing. Otherwise, you'll tip it. You'll be going over. So, and last time when I was down there, people did help. I got quite a bit of help from you guys. So that worked out pretty cool. That's how I was able to stay longer. And I didn't want to leave. Believe me, I didn't want to leave when I left. So yeah, that would be pretty cool. I got to finish the hearts. I started it, the purple hearts on the Jeep. I know a lot of people were wondering. I started it. I haven't finished. So I need to finish it, and then I need to put it up so you guys can see that I did it. So that would be pretty cool. There's however many days it's been. What's the date today? It's been 338 days, has it? Something like that. Mine's a Jeep Grand Cherokee, but it's not doing so good. If you go back and look at it, it's rough. Half of it's missing. Michigan rust. It spits and sputters. I lost the muffler. I lost the front bumper. Half the stuff don't work in it. I got the wipers working. And the 4-wheel drive has always worked. It's stuck in 4-wheel drive. Even when you're going down like a concrete road, it's in 4-wheel drive. It's all time 4-wheel drive. Yep, that area does. What year's my Jeep? I don't know. 98. It's old. It's only got like 55,000 miles on it though. But I'm surprised the suspension hasn't fallen off it because it's a unibody because it's a Cherokee and it's rotted out bad. Every time it rains, you drive down the road, the carpet gets wet. There's no floorboards left. The rockers are gone. The back end's smashed. I did put used junkyard taillights in it, so I had turn signals and brakes and stuff. But yeah, I want to go to the vigil, you guys. And I know Yennefer down there, Content Collectors, has a place rented. They're doing some cool stuff. I just hope that everybody's respectful of everybody, to each other, and I hope no garbage happens. Everybody needs to remember this is about Summer. It's not about your channel. It's not about, whatever differences people have. It's about her. And it's been a long time, you guys. A year is a long time. I mean, imagine how much different she looks than what she did. A year is a long time for somebody that age. So that's the kind of stuff I think about, you guys. But yeah, I mean, if I can make some kind of a difference, hopefully. Hopefully, Duty Ron or one of the other couple people that I contacted will get back with me about that red truck, because, you know, we don't know. We don't know if the red truck has something to do with it or not, but if it means something, I hope that the right people get it, because, like, I got the guy, I got the plate, I got everything. It's not exactly like that picture they show on the flyer, but I don't think that's a picture of the actual truck anyways. I think that's like a stock photo they used. I'm not sure, but it was the right color, the right body style, the right make and model, and it was in the right area. It wasn't somewhere else. It was on Beach Creek at Ben Hill Road. So I don't know. That's pretty, you know, like Scott was saying, it's a lottery. That's like a lottery pick. So yeah. So I'm gonna have a video. It won't be tomorrow. It'll probably be the next day. I'm putting another video out. I got 3 to put up for Ben Hill Road. I was gonna put them all as one. I might still, or 2 of them together or something. I don't know. But I don't know how many hours worth of footage I got, but I want to get it all out there. And what's nice about looking at it now, you guys, for anybody that's going to be going down there, is when I took it, it was right when the leaves started coming, the foliage, so you can still see through everywhere. Now, if you go down there, you can't see nothing. Ben Hill Road's like a friggin' tunnel, right, between all these trees. You can't see through nowhere. So I think I went at the right time of year to show it, so you can see through and see where stuff's at. But so yeah, you guys, I'm gonna call it a night. It's 2:11 in the morning here, and I'm glad you guys were here. Thanks for everybody who super chatted me or super stickered me. I'll make sure I write it all down and put it all in a fund. I try to, with the money you guys ever give me, or from the drawings I draw that have to do with this, I try to put the money toward either like a new camera or like paper, pencils, whatever I use to draw, stuff like that. I put it back into my channel. You know, I need better internet and I need a really good outside camera still. But I'm working on it. Oh, and I got to upgrade StreamYard to Pro or something. I don't know. Or go to Streamlabs, because I'm like limited on what I can do here. I want to do more. I want to do, like, when I'm drawing like this, I want to have a camera angle like close like this, so you can see what I'm drawing. And you can't do that with StreamYard's what I got. So I got to figure that out too. But I'm working on it, you guys, slowly but surely. But yeah, without you guys, I wouldn't be here, right? I'd be in my room drawing by myself, like I've been. Here's my room. Obviously, I didn't draw these in the last few months, so it's kind of cool having you guys. But yeah, all right, you guys, I'm gonna try to eat something and go to sleep. And Charlotte, I'll have to talk to my main mod. She's the one that does who's modded and who's not. Heather Invisibrat. She's not in here now. It's too late. But she was in here earlier. She does all that for me because I have no idea how to do that. I don't know how to. I barely know how to share a screen. I'm just learning. So all right. Thanks, you guys, for coming. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Thanks for answering my questions. And thanks for asking me questions. That way everybody is on the same page, I guess. So, all right. Justice for summer, you guys. See you guys on the flip side. Later, Gators.